Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting chapter of A Tale D20 presents Descent into the Void Campaign 2, where 5 friends join together to tell a story of mythic proportion. So, before we begin, as you can see, Rachel, who plays Ink/Velarel, had to travel today, so they will not be here. So we wish them safe travels, and we will see Rachel next week.
Oh, be safe, Rachel.
Be safe.
Be safe. Drink lots of water.
Okay.
Stay hydrated. Yep. It's hot out there. Is it hot out there? I haven't been outside.
I mean, I don't know. Every time I go to an airport, I am just like sweat city somehow, and I'm like super dehydrated.
There's like rolling heat waves across America. Like, I'm sure she's probably around the world. Yeah, generally, yeah. Yeah, around the whole planet, unfortunately. You're
Unfortunately,
right.
yes.
Let's be real.
Not in Ireland, there's not.
Not now.
How's the weather in Ireland? Are you guys cool?
Awful. Like, it is. No, it's like swamp muggy. So it's wet and just damp and lukewarm.
Is it like 30°C?
No, like
Oh.
that, like yeah, no,
Like
no.
Like 22?
Hang on, okay, just for the sake of accuracy and so that we don't spread disinformation, it is currently 17 degrees.
Oh, okay.
That is
Cool.
That is horribly uncomfortable.
Balmy. Very balmy.
Are you? Oh my god! Wow. Okay. No. Unable, can't function. The whole country shuts down.
I gotta Americanize this for me real quick.
I'm trying to remember.
62? That's nothing.
No.
Oh my
Can't handle it. No. We just as a people, like as a species, are unable to handle anything above a 16. Like it's just we're just not able for it.
That's like comfortable. That's like I'm a little chilly, but I can survive with a light jacket.
It's like perfect, light jacket weather.
No,
I've
yeah,
been
see,
in Turkey when it's 45.
Yeah, see, no, my husband was in Israel, and it was so hot that his phone was like, "Yeah, it's too hot. I have to turn off," and the phone wouldn't operate. So,
Yeah.
and he's like, "It was lovely." I'm like, if your phone's doing that, I'm under the bed dead. Like I've literally crawled under the bed to escape the sun. No, can't. So shan't be visiting any of you all anytime soon. You're in luck.
Yeah, I think it's like 31 or 32 here today.
I know, it was lovely. We could go swimming.
It's hot in the States. So that means that when Declan comes visit us, it will be during the winter.
Yes.
It's beautiful here.
Dark.
You get snow. No sun.
No, can't handle it.
Well,
Like,
oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna reveal a little too much on stream. I was like, I've got like reverse seasonal affective disorder. Like in the summer, I get manically depressed. Come winter, come the winter, I'm like, yes, everything's dark, cold, and dying. It's wonderful.
Oh no, we need that energy then, because like we definitely shut off in the winter, or I do.
Right, and that's the inspiration for Deland. There you go.
Right.
But before we begin, some brief announcements. First, our sponsors for Campaign 2, starting off with Fantasy Grounds. So, Travis, if you don't mind.
All right. So, if you could cue the music, please. We'd like some
my
uplifting
gosh,
and epic background music
There's
for this.
music involved.
Here we go. So, we're playing D&D, guys, so use your theater of the mind, but I will definitely set the scene for you in between. In a realm where adventure knows no bounds, our heroes rise and legends are forged. Immerse yourself in the ultimate tabletop gaming experience with Fantasy Grounds. The scene pulls back to a group of friends gathered around a table with laptops and tablets, laughing and sharing snacks, or like us, in our own homes across the globe, enjoying Fantasy Grounds. Welcome to a world where pure power of your imagination meets cutting-edge technology. Fantasy Grounds, the premier virtual tabletop, brings your favorite role-playing games to life like never before. Cuts a close-up to the Fantasy Grounds interface, showcasing various game elements and features, like Shadow of Lights or rolling. Whether you're a seasoned game master or first-time player, Fantasy Grounds caters to all. The rich, dynamic world with ease. Craft your own campaigns or dive into official campaigns from renowned publishers. The possibilities are limitless. Showcase little snippets of different game sessions featuring diverse characters and settings. With its intuitive interface, players have never been easier, seamlessly connecting with your friends from all around the globe. Track your dice, track your characters, and unleash spells with just a click. It's like having a gaming table from your dream right at your fingertips. Showcase the Fantasy Grounds mobile app and highlight its convenience. And for those epic journeys on the go, take Fantasy Grounds with you in our mobile device. Never miss a moment of excitement when the world calls you away. Zoom into a group of friends, smiling and sharing their epic moments. Whether you're a dungeon delver or a space explorer, magic sorcerer, Fantasy Grounds is the catalyst that transforms your imagination to unforgettable stories. Join thousands of gamers already united in their passion for Fantasy Grounds. Embark on your next adventure today. Visit Fantasy Grounds to start your epic journey or click the link below. Fantasy Grounds, where legends come to life. Finn.
Woo!
That was an ad for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy it. Like
So please check out Fantasy Grounds below, as that amazing ad has showcased.
Can this just be the stream? Can we just like make cool ads for like the show?
I'm so glad you guys like it. I was so worried.
Were you?
The affiliate link is below, so click that and you'll be enjoying an amazing versatile tabletop. And I believe we have one more sponsor, our main sponsor of Campaign 2, Level Up 5th Edition. Zeki, is there music?
No. No music, unfortunately. But I have been asked to read from a set of copy for the sponsor ad, and I gotta say that it just kind of jives, resonates with me. One thing that I constantly come up against as a dungeon master is the challenge to bring something unique and interesting to the table. Wizards of the Coast is great. Well, they manage a great game. 5th edition has been a revitalizing breath that has aged kind of like a nice Gouda. It's tasty, but if you put it in a room full of your other gaming supplies and other Goudas, it starts to smell a little something other than fresh. That's where Level Up comes in. They have reworked and tweaked a lot to make that Gouda game called D&D even better, adding in new class features, backgrounds, heritages, and even destinies. In fact, we just revealed some new destinies on this very stream. That's a plug. Go check us out on YouTube. We got to get them numbers up. Anyways, shout out to Level Up for the care they put into creating fun and engaging content to get your D&D game on that next tier of play.
Awesome. Yes, as Zeki has so eloquently placed, please go to www.a5e.tools for all your advanced Level Up information, supplemental text, and everything else to do with you'll see in this campaign. But awesome job, everybody. That was fun. So with all the announcements out the way and everything ready to go, I think we should start tonight's session of Descent to the Void, Campaign 2. Cue the intro.
Amsterdam of you. Very
Yeah, no.
Holland.
When in Amsterdam, you know.
Last time, MGUs, you had awoken from your slumber, realizing that Dullahan had grabbed a quest from the expedition board, a quest to seek out aid.
5 quests.
A quest to seek out aid for 3 towns within Corinth that were attacked by sentient gnolls. You had alerted Lucian to this new quest of yours, and he told you that you must pick up your wyverns first, for it was a far journey to traverse. There, each and every one of you had made your way to the wyvern rookery, and met a very colorful Aracrocacrin Leonin wyvern keeper, before heading up and participating in something known as the Pas de Deux, a dance between you and your wyverns to see if you would bond. And so each and every one of you participated in these steps and was able to summon a wyvern akin to your inner mana, your inner magic. Fairy, Opal, Shadow, and Frost. Each of these majestic dragon-like creatures had connected with you, and you were able to go on your first flight, sealing the union between dragon and rider. Afterwards, you proceeded to head down to continue on your day to start your quest, where Lucian had provided with you personal books that he had wrote to increase your prowess in your individual classes. So, you mounted your wyverns, departed from the floating city of the Isle of Eternity, and flew all the way southwest to the town of Roncalli, one of the 3 towns that seem to have been in dire straits after these sentient gnoll attacks. Upon landing, you had found that the city was in a bit of turmoil, as the windows and doors in all different parts of the town of Roncalli have been destroyed by the recent gnoll attacks. But, at being the great spellbinders that you are, you proceeded to head to the mayor's office and met with Aldrich Ravenshield, who, with his daughter Eliana Ravenshield, explained that these gnolls had appeared a week before and had been attacking the towns of Summerfield and Merville, stealing many belongings at first, but now they have turned violent. Eliana did specifically want to participate in the battle, but her father said that her job was to take over as mayor and to not go into danger. And he told you to head to Captain Liana Stormridge, leader of the Stormbringers, and their spire, as they were protecting the town and had more information on the gnoll attacks. So, MGUs, it is mid-afternoon at this point. You had traveled for a while and had spoke for a bit with the mayor of the town, and are now traversing through Roncalli. Clouds begin to collect and form in the sky as an overcast begins to precipitate down snow. The temperature shoots down a few degrees as you shiver slightly, making your way down the cobblestone road, heading towards this mid-sized spire, a tower of sorts, that the Stormbringers were supposed to be located. What do you all do next?
We'll like signal to each other to like fly and like land in that general area. So we know that, right?
Yeah, you're on foot. You're walking through the town going to this area.
Oh.
Probably about like 15-minute walk.
It's this way. right, team?
I presume, yeah.
Alrighty. So, you begin to make your way, scratching the ground with your feet as the snow begins to pile up. You pass through a clearing as you can see several citizens of the town looking at you. Not strangely, but more so they're guarded. Injured, you see people with band-aids around their arms, boarding up their houses and their doors as you walk up a large hill.
Can I actually, sorry, before, as we're walking through and passing by people, I would like to use my free casting of Detect Thoughts for my telepathic feat and just sort of scan the surface thoughts of these people to see if there's anything of note. Like, are they, obviously we're outsiders, but like, are they afraid? Are they like, they're fools? Like, what are they thinking?
Certainly. Going ahead, you pierce their minds, getting their surface thoughts as you look around, and you hear a collective, who are they? Or, are they here to save us? Are they here to hurt us? Are the Gnolls gonna come back? Things like just worry, just a general sense of worry that tonight will bring another attack. And this time they may actually lose someone, as no one has died yet.
Okay, it lasts, I believe, for 10 minutes, so I'll just sort of scan people as we make our way through to see if anything pops up.
Sure. A couple other surface thoughts that you would get is a sort of distrust amongst your group. People thinking, oh, now they show up after all this. We have to pay them in order for them to protect us. Some heroes they are. And you get a sense that people are also angry at the states that they're in.
Okay. It's just a single minute, but...
Oh. Hey, you said that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Did we... I'm sorry if we forgot. Did we speak to, like, the mayor yet, or no?
Yeah.
He was the one that said that they attacked all the different sides and came from the 3 different places. There's 3 major entrances.
Yes. He is the one who sent you to speak with Captain Lillian Stormridge.
Okay.
All right.
Now, keep in mind, I don't think we should trust any of them. Part of me thinks they're the ones behind all these attacks.
The people here all seem scared and nervous. Do you think it's the guards themselves, or do you think that potentially the mayor as well?
I think it's just the guards. I mean, it's just kind of convenient that the guards are never anywhere to be found when an attack does happen in town.
Perhaps they're... I don't want to jump to any conclusions just yet. Maybe they're short-staffed, or this is a sort of remote location. Perhaps they just don't have the troops to cover the land they have. But let's keep our wits about us. Have you noticed anything that led you to be suspicious?
Just from all the questions that we were asking before, I feel like with the answers we got, something just doesn't add up here. And to me, it's pointing to the guard.
All right.
Okay. So, after about 10 minutes or so, you begin to walk up a steep hill, enough to make your calves burn, but you can see the spire, this almost 20-foot tall tower of sorts, made out of stone, of great texture. Eventually, you reach the summit, and there, the floor is covered with grass and snow. There's a wooden door open at the bottom of the tower, probably about 7 feet tall, and several members garbed in what looks to be a sort of metallic armor running in and out or running around the back, and they seem to be in a hurry. You hear the sound of commotion coming from the interior of the tower.
What's going on up there? Do you see that?
No, what was that?
Looks like there's something going on. They're like running around the back of the building, and I thought I heard like a rustling.
I think Dullen might kind of just follow them, like in that sort of like, there's no point waiting for them to stop. If something's happening, we might as well go and see what it is for ourselves.
Okay, yeah, I'll follow after Dullahan. Come on, let's go. See, he saw too.
All right. So you all make your way down the walkway, walking towards the door of this tower. You can, as you get closer, now you can hear the sounds of several humanoids just chattering and arguing, running around. One tiefling garbed in chain armor pushes past you and says, "Excuse me," and runs by as you step into this large tower.
I'm going...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. As that happens, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself. As he pushes past, I'm gonna say, "I feel like some shit's gonna go down." Boop, 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 and like this shimmery gloss, like appears and washes over Zendark.
Okay. Shimmering in, you step inside, all of you. As you can see, it looks to be a barracks of sorts. There are weapons adorned on the walls, tables full of papers, maps, small little war tables, in different groups of about 30 combatants inside, just huddled across tables, just talking and yelling. There is a large group surrounding what seems to be a person in the middle, and they all look to be looking down at them, as you can just hear yelling and people going, right away, ma'am, yes, going ahead. And people are just running past you. There's two more tiers of floors, and you see even more people running down the steps as well, as the upper levels have several doors that seem to be closed at this moment. But no one seems to be paying you any mind. They're all running past with an objective in mind.
Just generally, like, observing, what do we notice? Like, what do we, like, think is happening?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. Ooh, 19, so 24 total.
24. As you begin to really inspect the room, looking around, you can hear that people are worried about the gnolls. They're worried about the upcoming attack they're predicting will happen in the evening, and are trying to prepare for it. You see there are many wounded, so the amount that are here, you're not even sure if they all can battle. But you do hear most of the commotion happening from this, like, the center of the room, as you hear the voice of a woman's kind of barking orders from the middle of it. "You there? Yes. Hey. No. There. Place him there. The walls are weak on the eastern quadrant. Just make sure. Oh, you guys are buffoons."
Okay, so she's clearly the leader.
Yes, but you can't quite see her because there's a crowd around her.
Okay, I'll sort of point that out. Like, I can't see her, can you? You're a little taller than me.
I was like, you better not be asking me.
Dullahan. Do you hear? I hear someone shouting orders from over there in that section.
Yeah, Dullen is just kind of like, it's a little more disorganized than Monaster's guard. I think is kind of what's kind of going through his head at the moment. That, like, but obviously Monaster has never gone through what these folks are going through, and he's just going to kind of like pipe up. No, I'm here.
No, he's here.
Yeah. I think, Omar, you lost Declan. Did you mute all of us?
Hello?
No, No, I'm still here.
No,
Hello?
Declan's
No, I can still
definitely
hear you,
here.
Declan. No, I can still hear you, Declan.
Okay.
that's so weird. He disappeared from my screen. I can see the two of you. Let me try refreshing myself.
Yeah, Declan's live on the stream too. Well, we lost Omar. Just gone now forever.
And we're gone.
Hey,
Bye.
so I think that we just kill all the
All
gnomes.
level up. Oh, okay.
All level up about that, yeah.
We all level up to level 10.
You are back.
10, yeah,
I'm
even
so
10.
sorry about that.
Makes
I
sense.
don't
Give
know
us some
why.
challenge, something else to do whenever Omar does come back, you know? Second half.
Oh, I am back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
We
Good.
can.
Yeah. Okay. That was very odd. Okay.
Am I back?
No,
Am I alive?
Yep, you're back. You never left. I just erased you for some reason. Carry on.
Omar.
I am.
You can
How
do.
dare
I
you?
don't know how
Wow.
that happened. Technology. I am very sorry. As you were saying, Dullahan.
Sorry. So I think Dullahan is very much kind of taken aback by what's happening. Like he's never seen a town guard this sort of ramshackled and on the edge. But he's going to try and cut through a lot of what's happening, like the confusion and the brashness, and he's just going to kind of like we're looking for whoever is in charge, and he's going to try and raise his voice above the din.
Okay. As you walk up, one of the armored fellows there turns and looks down at you, and he goes, looks up at you. You're technically taller than him. As he goes, in charge of who are you? We're in this is Stormbringer territory. What brings you here? What do you need?
We've been hired to assist with the Knoll problem.
As you say that, the voice stops barking orders as the group parts. There you see a halfling woman. She looks hardened, an aged face to show that, or the weariness and the battle worn that she is. But her armor looked probably once pristine, but it's covered in what looks to be some type of blood and dirt and grime. Long flowing locks of dark hair frame her face, and she has a piercing gaze of hazel eyes that show that determination but also weariness from the days that she might have been awake during these battles with the gnolls. She walks up to you, looking directly up as she stands no more than about 3.5 feet. So, are you the fucking spellbinders who were hired? It's about fucking time.
We are, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And he and Dullahan is going to like stand to kind of attention.
You're all a bit scrawny as she begins to inspect you walking around. But if this is all that the mayor can afford, well, I guess you'll have to do. Everyone, we have company. And people are kind of talking to themselves, ignoring her, except for those in the circle, as she lets out a huge whistle that echoes throughout the entirety of the tower, and everyone hushes, and there's a strange, awkward sign like you hear a pin drop, as all attention shifts to you and Lillian. Much better. Everyone, it seems finally our reinforcements have arrived. They have descended from their heavenly palace and have come down to assist us against our Knoll troubles. Thank the Nine. You can tell she's being very sarcastic, and
It's no trouble at all.
I am Lillian Stormridge, and these are the Stormbringers. We are security here for the 3 cities that have asked for assistance. Roncalli, Merville, and Summerfield. Our headquarters is located here in Roncalli. Are you up to speed with what happened, or do I need to inform you of that as well?
No, ma'am. We have been briefed by the mayor, but we do have some questions.
Ask away.
And he's a little, like, given what's going on. The mayor said a small group of your men went into the mountains to look for the gnolls, and a soldier went missing, and it took ages to find him.
The mayor is cutting corners as usual. We lost an entire platoon in there for days. Luckily, they were able to find their way out, but wasted precious time. In the meantime, I was short some of my most powerful warriors, and you see the state that Roncalli's in.
No disrespect, ma'am, but how would your platoon lose their way in the mountains? Surely they've been trained for that type of terrain.
Do you know nothing of the Mystic Mountains, boy?
Can't say I'm typically versed in the geography, ma'am.
I figured. The Mystic Mountains is a large labyrinth. Whole cities are in its walls. It would take only the most experienced of travelers can make their way around that labyrinth. Dark things lurk within there. So no, I'm sorry, but even my trained men can't find their way in that place. But we thought that we could find the gnolls, track them, but they are smart, too smart. I have no idea how they gained such intelligence, but they're able to make tracks, clean up their tracks, and lead us down dangerous corridors. I think the 9 we found them as is.
Has it been proposed, ma'am, yet that during one of the gnoll attacks you attempt to capture one of the raiders?
We've attempted. They are squarely slippery, conniving, and hard to get hold of. So unfortunately, as much as I would like to get someone to interrogate, we have failed at that endeavor. But that's where you all come in, huh? You're the experts. We're paying top dollar for your expertise.
Dullahan is doing his best not to wince at the rib poking from Lillian. There's a rumor, one I'm not sure this is the place to totally discuss with you. Is there perhaps, do you have an office that we might be able to go into detail?
She turns around and looks at the rest of her crew. You all have your plans. You all have your orders. Go ahead. I will speak with the spellbinders myself in my private chambers. Only interrupt for an emergency. Come, you four. Follow me. Oh, and what are your names?
We're the Magoos.
The Magoos.
I'll take a step forward and I'll say, it's an acronym for our circle. My name is Zendar Kwakwa. This is Sully Oberto, and you may call them Ink.
Dullahan of the Frozen Sky, ma'am. And he kind of like half bows at her.
Well, come along then, Magoos. as she makes her way up the staircase, not waiting for you, and she's very spry for a halfling in heavy armor as she makes her way up the staircase.
I think it's best, Sully, if we just ask her straight out. And then maybe, Zendarek, you could keep an eye on what she's thinking. It's going to be very hard to keep those thoughts suppressed if we confront her. And at worst, she's going to get mad. At best, she reveals herself to be a traitor, and we can deal with that if we have to.
That sounds like a plan.
I agree. Maybe we come from a slightly obtuse angle, though. Let me try to ask some questions.
Give me a clue, or give me a signal when you want me to start probing. Because it only lasts for a minute.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I think Dullahan's going to follow up behind her, trying to maybe kind of catch her so it doesn't seem like we were too far behind.
Got it. So you all follow her up the stairs, making your way to the second level of this tower. You walk by about 3 different doors that seem to be locked until heading to a large one. It's not very descript, though you could tell it is larger than the rest, in a more of a arch form instead of a normal square door, as she goes ahead and pulls out a thick key from inside of her armor. She puts it in there as she turns the door and turns around and says, "Inside," and holds the door open, waiting for you to enter before she closes it. As you all do, she
Follow in.
And as you follow in, she closes it behind her, behind the last person, locking it again. In the room, though, looks to be a regular office. A table with a chair, a desk to the left, as well as a window showing all of Rankali and a little bit beyond outside of it. Other than that, it's pretty plain. Nothing on the walls, not adorned with any type of weaponry like the middle room, as she turns around, crossing her arms, sitting on the table. So, what is it that you wish to talk to me about? Come on, don't be shy.
I look to Zendarek and give a wink.
I'll take a step forward and touch one of the doodads on her her desk, and I'll say, "No need to be so hostile, ma'am. We understand you're under a lot of stress, and we're here to help. We understand that we might not be whom you're thinking or whom you expect, but we are quite formidable, and our appearances may be deceiving." And as I say deceiving, I will cast Detect Thoughts again and sit down in the chair, and then I'll look to Sully to begin.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna probe yet. I'm just gonna see surface thoughts.
Is this a full somatic and vocal?
Because I am telepathic, I do not need to cast it using any components.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
No spell components. Yeah, when you and I can use a spell slot to cast it as well. Yeah, so I can just, because I'm telepathic, I can just do it.
Perfect. Are you sitting in her chair or in a random chair?
No. I sort of I picture her office sort of not a small room, but I walk up and touch a few of her doodads, getting closer to the chair, at a table wherever, because she sat at her desk, so I'll sit in a chair,
okay,
in the room. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Touch some of her shit and then sit down.
I didn't know if you were just doing BDE right there.
No, I'm not gonna take a shit on her desk. No.
Not yet.
So, surface thoughts. She's annoyed. You get annoyance and just the thought of she's worried about the Knoll attacks, and she's keeping you at arm's length. She doesn't know if you are to be trusted, if you're even capable, and she's worried about her town. Her towns, technically.
So as I said, our looks can be deceiving, but we're here to discuss a few things. Sully? And then I hear those few things, and then he begins.
So you had mentioned one of your battalions had gone missing. About how long ago was that?
About a day. Well, they were missing a few days ago. We just retrieved them about a day ago.
And that was after the first round of attacks?
Yes, we went to chase down the gnolls. First, they went and attacked Merville. Following Merville, once they cleaned out Merville, no damages to any of the citizens, though Merville's in a dire strait right now. They have no funds, all their gold, all their jewels and valuables stolen. They had then went to attack us here at Rankali, as we are in the middle. And as you can see, they have attempted, though doing some damage. We were able to drive them off, and then they continued to go to Merville, also wiping them out. So now their forces have been concentrated here on Rankali. And when we went to chase them down, well, like I said, that battalion got lost, ran into traps, and we had to find them.
And during this first attack, did you notice it strange or anything strange, especially with the gnolls' forms of communication?
Well, yes. One thing, they fucking talked. Gnolls don't talk. Gnolls laugh and whatever, bark, whatever the hell they do. They're able to give out commands. We heard them shouting. Organization, things that should never happen.
In common, or what language were they speaking?
I don't fucking know. I don't speak anything other than Elven and Common.
So I'm assuming my detect thoughts is about half up at this point. Is she feeling sincere? Like she really doesn't know about them, about the gnolls, the leadership, any about...
Yes, you are able to... Well, according to her surface thoughts and what she's thinking, she genuinely seems to be worried and have no idea past what she's telling you.
And it, like, there's no, like, person that would, like, betray this township and work for the gnolls, like, teach them or, like, give them magic, would there?
No. Rankali used to be a town that was worth visiting, but has gone down over the years, and now... As she looks around, looks out the window. So what I'm trying to say is no, there is no one here of your level, as you proclaim, who would be able to do such a thing here in Rankali, or Merville, or Summerfield.
I'm going to look at Dullahan and say into your mind telepathically, my probe's almost up. Ask now.
Regarding that sensitive issue, ma'am, we'd heard, though we've not really been able to talk, is that maybe some of the men your platoon command are mixed up in this, that they themselves might be responsible for the raids on the town under the guise of gnolls. And Dullan is quite awkward as he says this.
She looks visibly upset she's understanding what you're insinuating, and she stands up, puffing out her chest. The fuck are you talking about? My warriors would never do such a thing. I have single-handedly picked out each and every Stormbringer, and there was, at a time, 50 of us spread between the 3 towns.
And none of the Stormbreakers from Merville, you handpicked them as well?
Yes, each one, and it's Stormbringers. We bring the storm, we don't break it.
Is she, like, is there any surface thought, like, is it 100% genuine, like, upsetness, or is there like a they're on, like, fuck, they're on to us, like, any of that in there?
Still at the surface level, you get thoughts of more annoyance and a defensive, as more of like the audacity to accuse.
Okay, when Declan finished speaking and Sully started speaking, I'd like to probe a little bit further to make sure that it is just audacity and not like cover up for a conspiracy. She has to make a
Sure.
wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 17. Nope, 15.
Okay. She has a +2 to that, so I'm just going to. Natural 20, 22.
Okay. Okay, so the spell ends, and
Does she know?
Let me see if she knows. Either way, the target knows you are probing. Yep.
Oh boy.
She kind of shoots her head back. Ah! You! The fuck are you doing? How dare you try to use your magic to insert your thoughts into mine?
Okay, I'll admit it. We were just doing our due diligence. Can you blame us? We had to make sure that you are really in command here, not in cahoots with the Knolls.
Roll me a
I apologize.
Roll me a
I sort of
persuasion
like, I'll put my hands up.
at disadvantage.
Could Dullahan help actually to try and
Oh.
because Dullahan's gonna insert himself like kind of like Centauric, no, you're literally going about this the wrong way, and he's just gonna like kind of put himself between Zen and Lillian to again, ma'am, with all due respect, we've arrived in this town. We don't know the full situation. We are trying our best to scope out as much as possible. You have to understand this is not a situation we find ourselves in typically. We are doing our best to get to the root of the matter as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The questions were indeed difficult. I appreciate that we may have crossed a line with you, but the best way, as my friend explained, to get to the matter is to just delve behind words. You yourself know, typically speaking, in these situations, people have a tendency to speak half-truths. My friend has the ability to see past those.
Okay, so roll me. I would say whoever has the higher persuasion, roll me a persuasion check, just a flat check.
That is not Dullahan.
I have a 3.
I will...
Actually, can I also help and add to the fact that, you see, we thought it was particularly strange that the Knolls were talking, which is why my questions kind of aligned the way they did. We want to make sure we're not dealing with some sort of lycanthropy. The last thing we need is to have more infected, number one. And number two, we don't want to hurt anybody who may not be in a state of their sane mind when attacking.
Okay, I'll say I'll lower the DC for that, or raise your check. But it sounds like Zendark, you're the one.
Okay. 22.
I'm glad you rolled that, because I'm glad you got a 19.
That like swirled out really fast.
Yeah.
I was nervous. Another 19 for 22 total.
Nice. She lowers her shoulders slightly, gets less hostile. Don't fucking do it again. Were my answers to your liking? I'm not the enemy here. Neither are the Stormbringers. It's these fucking Knolls, and whoever's commanding them, if they even have a commander.
I concur with your analysis. I agree.
Well then, shall we talk about it? You hear a knock at the door. Who is it? The fuck did you want? I said don't disturb me. Madam, please, we have one. We were able to capture a gnoll. Fuck, what? She pushes past you for a moment, opening up the door as it slams onto the side. There, one of the armored gentlemen stands pointing at down below over the railing. As she looks over and you guys look over as well, you can see two Stormbringers holding on to what looks to be a furry, dog-like, medium-sized creature, about 5 feet tall. It's thick and well kept, actually, for what you would expect a gnoll to look like, as if the fur had been washed and cleaned. They're wearing clothes that of like a humanoid kind, but it's shackled and bound as two of the Stormbreakers are holding it tight, and you see it has shifty eyes going back and forth. Finally, I have some fucking competency here. Was there anything else that you need? If not, I have an interrogation to go to, unless you wish to join.
We would love to.
Absolutely. In fact, bring them in here. We'll do the interrogation here.
We have a special holding cell where we interrogate our prisoners. Take them to the interrogation chamber. Right, ma'am. They hold on and they walk out the back towards They walk towards the back of the room, opening up a door as they drag the gnoll in there and slam behind him. Shall we? And she walks in that direction as well.
Yeah, follow.
All right. So you all follow, opening up the door and entering this new area. It is dark here. The other areas was well lit, especially because the door is open and it's bright outside. But here looks to be more of like a stable of sorts. But instead, each of the rooms that a horse would be in has been refitted to be more of a cell with a portcullis bars going down as one of the Stormbringers pushes the gnoll inside, locking the door tight. Nothing but brick stone wall behind it. You see there's a table to the left full of strange apparatus that looks like a saw of some sort, some type of clamps, all weird, strange, tortural devices, if that is a word, as she walks up towards the gate. So there, finally we're able to capture one of these fuckers. Hello there. Hello, can you speak? Oh, you hear it? As the gnoll turns around. Of course, fucking cat's got its tongue. We have ways to make you talk.
In Elvish, I'll say, Aftal han hastvada, which is, do you speak Elvish?
She turns around, responds in Elvish as well. She says, yes, I fucking speak Elvish. I told you that before.
You.
Oh.
The gnoll.
Oh.
Perhaps it's, speaks,
It's learned in its letters.
Yeah, perhaps it knows something else. Does it say anything?
Turns around. It doesn't reply. Not unsure if it understood or is just ignoring you.
Is it like sitting at like an interrogation desk of some sort?
No, it's in a cell.
Oh, it's in a cell. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I slam my fists up against the bars.
The bars shake as the gnoll jumps slightly.
Tell us who you work for.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Intimidation. That's an 11.
An 11. Liana walks on over towards porter a table as she starts to grab some things as you walk up to the gnoll walks up to the edge of the gate where you have slammed. It puts its head down and gets really close to you. Pauses for a moment, looking like it's about to speak. Its face shoots up right in front of yours, bearing like a dog's maw with saliva dripping down as you hear it go. Askas and Amakun importante casara.
Wait, was that Draconic?
What language do you understand?
Draconic?
Oh.
And Halfling and Common.
Draconic,
I know.
Halfling, Common.
Common, Elvish, and Sylvan.
And I Abyssal, Deep Speech, and Celestial.
Space Boy.
You hear Draconic words. It is definitely speaking Draconic, but there's some words in there where it just bad conjugation. You're not sure. It just didn't make sense. You're not sure where they are. Dullahan, they sound strange to Abyssal. It's not Abyssal because that you would understand the words, but it's like Abyssal in a sense. Not quite sure as it translates roughly. It's between the two of you. You hear the great the queen is the actually nope. It's not Abyssal, so you understand it. I would say just you, Sully, understand words such as will rise your flesh upon a pyre, and the rest you couldn't. So you hear it's like sounds like a threat of some kind about something rising and placing your flesh upon a spire or pyre.
I respond in Draconic.
Duras hasen power.
Which is roughly the only thing that will rise is the nails through your skin.
It looks back up to you. Sera kaum tung insante sese marantas.
Miranda.
As you hear a translation. You speak the master's tongue. He shall have your tongue for dinner. And it's very odd for a Gnoll to understand and speak.
Yeah.
Be alone Draconic.
Yeah. And I kind of just like say back, I'm not going to do more Draconic because I think you get the idea. I am the dagger that will come for you in the darkness.
As he backs up a little bit, kind of disappearing in a little bit of the shadows with Leanna walking up and says, "What the fuck was that?"
The thing speaks Draconic. It's going on about some feminine matriarch or goddess or something in the middle between the two. And then just a lot of blank threats about taking my tongue and putting me on a pyre. You know, normal things a Gnoll would probably say.
Draconic, a fucking cost to speak to. Why doesn't anyone fucking here speak Draconic? What do I pay you for?
That is why you're paying us.
Well, she looks at the cage. So you can speak. Well then, you see this here, and she has like a clamp in her hand. She goes, ding, ding, ding. Maybe you want to keep that tongue of yours in place. Translate for me. Speak, or else you'll lose it.
I translate roughly,
Huasain, Huahain, Gordon, Indron.
He walks up, and in Draconic, you hear him go, "Do your worst." The fuck did he say? What did he say?
Say, do your worst? I think he
be my
said, do
pleasure.
your worst.
It would be my pleasure. Do you wish to stay for the festivities, or is there anything else that you need, MGUs?
No, I do not wish to watch you torture this poor creature.
Poor creature!
It is clearly out of its mind and a fanatic. Based on what it's saying, it is under some guise or some belief that a savior will rise up, but you're right, it is not a poor creature, it is just a turn of phrase.
I disagree, Zendark. I think it is a poor creature that doesn't know how to act on its own. Nevertheless, it is being quite vile, and you'll have to get some information somehow.
Yes. I just don't think, and Dolan's gonna look at like the various array of implements. Those aren't proven to extract accurate information, Leanna. Perhaps you keep him imprisoned, and if we have time, Zen might be able to search his mind. Then there's no need for us to lower ourselves to such barbaric acts.
Trust me, I know how to acquire information from loose lips. I may not have your fancy spells and magic, but I do have experience and skill.
That could be better served protecting the village rather than exerting it, extracting potentially fallible information from a broken monster. At least with Zendarik's abilities, you have the guarantee that what he sees is 100% the truth. A broken tongue, a cracked lip will spew any truths it needs to speak in order to facilitate the easing of its pain, of which I'm sure you are an expert.
Roll a persuasion check.
Shit, I am not good at that. Flat 10.
10. You know what? Fuck it. If you experts think you know so much, then you handle the prisoner then. And when you fail, old Clampy here will have his due.
Let's get the clamps.
I mouth to my compatriots. Clampy.
Oh, at that moment, you kind of hear a commotion happening from inside of the room behind you. As she turns around and goes, "Ah, what the fuck now?" The door opens up as another armored person from the Stormbreaker steps. So sorry to interrupt, madam, but we caught Eliana sneaking in again. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Let's bring her here. After a few moments, you see, "Get off me! Get off!" as Eliana, the mayor's daughter, gets thrown in. She looks completely armored and so ready for battle, with a sword at her side. The fuck do you want, Eliana? I want to fight. Screw what my father says. I want to fight these gnolls. I want to live up to my family's name, to my family's legacy. MGUs, do you want to be left alone with the prisoner? I can handle this.
As long as you'll trust our answers and our interrogation.
Well, we're paying you everything we have, so we have no choice now, do we?
I
Now
suppose
do
that is
you?
true.
Come, we have more preparation to do. Eliana, for the 1,000th time, your father. And she walks away, grabbing Eliana, and she goes, "Let go of me," and begins chastising as the other guards leave, closing the door behind you, leaving you with the gnoll.
So, I can detect its thoughts, but it only lasts a minute. I will be able to probe deeper into its mind, but Sully, you must guide it in its natural tongue. I think that would be the most beneficial.
Should I try to get more information on who this feminine person is?
I think you are best try to get it to remember how it got here. If we could trace it back, we can certainly, if it comes up, learn more of what it believes in, what it's worshipping, what's driving it. But I think what's pertinent now is the information on where it's located and how we might be able to get there, and if possibly learn about their defenses.
I agree. I think more importantly is the location. I know,
Okay.
not at Doulahan.
I'll do what I can.
Alright, what are you guys doing?
I guess I'm gonna interrogate this thing more.
As we turn towards the creature, Zendark's eyes sort of flash to their runic purple and the golden runes that encircle his eyes alight. And I would like to cast Detect Thoughts onto this creature, and I will activate my ability, Glance into the Future, gifted to me by Level Up 5 Advanced. And this is part of the Elven feature set, and I've chosen Glance into the Future. Your eyes can see a moment into the future and apprehend different possibilities. And basically lets me, it's sort of similar to the Portent ability. And earlier in this session, I rolled a 7. So I would like to prophesize that this creature fails and give him that 7 as the wisdom save for when I probe deeper into his mind.
Got it. Alrighty. So, you stand your ground looking at the creature who's looking back at you with feral eyes. Your runes activate as you begin to empower your mental prowess. As the creature looks in a slight stupor, a curiosity, almost caught like a snake charmer staring at a hypnotic gaze.
So now, as Sully speaks to it, we'll get insight into its emotional state. If there's something larger looming in the back of its mind, something it loves, worries, or hates, any other like deeper information, we'll get hopefully some additional context as I'm sort of swimming through those thoughts as Sully is guiding him. And I'll say, now.
Du Sarah fine.
Where are you from?
It doesn't respond, but it kind of moves and writhes in pain, feeling the probing sensation from Zendaric's ability. Images start to fluctuate and pop into your mind, Zendaric, as you can see an underground temple. A beautifully carved temple within a mountain. Flashes of imageries of frescoes on the wall of dragons or dragonoids of all different colors, and for a split second your mind shifts back to those frescoes you saw when you entered the void of those faction wars, and it's reminiscent of that. But it doesn't speak. And then you eventually the picture of a large open chamber inside of the mountain where about 100 gnolls seem to be sleeping and relaxing.
I'll mutter under my breath what I see. A cave in the distance, underground in the background, mystical paintings like in the void, dragons murals, and I'll continue to mutter these things out as the like visions flow past me, as Sully is loudly speaking to.
Mm-hmm. DM, what is the name of that mountain that's like off in the background from where we are?
You mean it's generally it goes by two names actually.
Okay.
You know, as they call it here, the Mystic Mountains, but since you're from the other side of the realm of the Pentad, you know it as the Vesper Mountains or the Vesper Hills.
Okay.
Du Sarah Vesper. Aya.
Are you from like the Vesper Mountains?
It doesn't respond. It tries to hold back, pushing away the influence of Zendaric. But more images appear into your mind as you see a shot that looks like the mountain area, the Mystic Mountains, as you would know it, Zendaric. And you can see the actual path that it took to get to that mountainscape, into the mountain itself, down a winding caverns of endless possibilities, but it specifically uses its nose to find the location, now getting a sense on how to get to its home.
Multiple trails, winding caverns, maze-like hills, through the valleys, up through the crevice canyons, leading to a trail up. I see it.
And I'm guessing I have time for like one more question. I don't know how time is working right now.
Like, yeah, I would say one more question, yeah.
Usually like it's like rule of 3 kind of thing. So
yeah.
I have one more question. Zendaric, do you have enough information about where it's from? Do you think I should ask who is controlling it one more time?
Yes. Yes.
Ki as mama.
Who is your mother? Who is the mother?
You, Zendaric, you begin to, and you feel the most resistance as it goes. You see images of the different frescoes of the dragons along the walls. You see the images of the gnolls building this temple of sorts, and building a statue. You see a strange figure hidden in the shadows with bright yellow eyes, giving directions as gnolls are just building this humongous statue. And as you're looking to see what it is, your mind is suddenly attacked. A familiar image blasts into the forefront of your cerebral as all you see is 5 sets of eyes. And it completely it explodes in your mind, and your eyes begin to bleed. You take 2 points of psychic damage as you are ejected from the mind of the gnoll, as the gnoll falls back as it moves back and forth, clawing at its own head, causing lacerations down the forehead to all the way down to its neck.
I
Blood.
stumble backwards and wipe the 2 single blood tears from my eyes. 5 eyes! 5 eyes! The sets! From the vision! And I'll clutch my head and rub my temples for a minute.
TM, can I make a history check about dragons that have 5 sets of eyes?
Sure, go ahead and roll me a history check.
I feel like Izeki know this answer. Whatever that be, history.
And I think what Dulhan was doing, kind of as Sully was asking and Zen was scanning, Dulhan was writing down what was said. So he's made notes as to what Zen Dark was able to pull.
That's a 15.
15. Lore has it. This may be something you've read during within the libraries of the Half-Light Order. But there is an entity, a deity of sorts from eras prior. A twin to, let me phrase it. There is an entity of infernal origin that you read of, like a dragon, a queen of dragons. It has been proven to have multiple heads, as it personifies just the different types of dragons that she rules over. Though the name, you're not quite sure. It has been lost to the ages.
I'll have to do some more research. It's just right there on the tip of my tongue. It's almost like this ancient god that is like the mother of all dragons.
That that can't be. Oh no. It's choking me. These thoughts are suffocating. Hold on.
Break the link, Zendark. It's not worth it.
I'll close my eyes and start rubbing my eyes for a moment.
Look at yourself, Zen.
This was the only way. I'm a scholar and academic. I don't believe in torture. As I gesture back to these instruments of destruction. I understand that war is war, and sometimes there's need for violence and bloodshed, but torture is a new low that I cannot stoop to. Although mental probing, I guess, is not above mental manipulation. Just we don't want to physically harm him.
Dulhan's going to take a look at the notes that he scrawled as Zendark was speaking aloud. I think we found a way to get to their base. If Liana was saying that the problem with the Mystic Mountains was how difficult they are to traverse, well, maybe they'll be able to, with what you were able to glean, Zendark, map out the trails. And whatever these gnolls are worshipping or following, or that's driving them, faith makes people believe in the craziest of things. It's not to say that this dragon mother is even alive. Maybe they just believe she is, and it's so powerful a belief that it did that to you. Are you okay?
You can see that my eyes have like returned back to their natural purple state. They're not glowy anymore, and I've like wiped the blood away. I'm all right. I have just had a mental spike. Like, have you ever eaten too much ices? Sometimes a real sharp pain, or when you have a migraine. It just instantly struck me, but I'm all right. Thank you.
We should let Liana know what we've learned. Though I think it might be best to not mention the mother dragon.
All right. Do you...
Only if... I don't mean we hide the truth or we lie. I just simply mean, as it is, the townships are barely holding up against gnolls. If we reveal that the gnolls are being controlled or powered or backed by a 5-headed legendary mythological creature, well, you see, and he's going to point to what,
Yes. Well, that also, being said, what is our plan? Obviously, we can, as you suggested, traverse through the mountainsides, but they might very well be attacked this evening. Should we help them defend tonight and set off tomorrow? Or what do you think we should do?
Right now, I think our best situation is to earn their trust. We do that by telling them what we learned from the gnoll, and we take a watch on the town's defense. While we watch, we have a cartographer draw up the trail, and then we take it upon ourselves in the morning after we've all rested and gathered our bearings, and we look for this temple. Whether Vienna is able to spare a man or two to aid us, but I think this is something that we should be doing, and let them defend their homes. If we fall in the temple, they're going to need every person they have at their disposal to protect their people. I won't ask them not to follow, but I think they're all better served here. Maybe a guide if it's that difficult to traverse, but for what we are being paid for, I think the responsibility lies on our shoulders, not theirs. But I'm just one in this circle.
Sully, what say you?
Oh, well, I think this just got a lot more complicated. I do think that we should do what we were sent here to do, which was to help them defend themselves from the gnolls. But I also agree with Dullahan. I think we have a greater responsibility to get to the bottom of this. Do we somehow do both? Help them fend off for the night, and then get as much rest as we can before going off to this temple?
Okay, above board. Travis, I'm still not sure. Do you guys want to go, or do you want to defend? Leave or defend?
So, for full clarity, Dullahan's position is we stay the night, defend on, and that way we'll earn their trust, and then we set out as a group tomorrow.
Okay.
And that gives us time then for them to draw out the map that we need to.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's
that also is kind of where I lie as well. Like, help them do what we got paid to do, which was help them deal with the null problem in these towns. And then also, because of who we are, I think we are morally obligated, since we now have this new information, to do something else about it at a later time and date, which would be after we do the immediate thing.
okay. Sorry, thanks for that.
Yeah.
As Zendark, okay, guys, I agree. I think we best share this information as best we can, and then I will hold my hands up sort of like a book and then open them and prestidigitate sort of like the landscape, small illusory image. And I'll say perhaps the cartographer with the notes you've taken, and this can help make sure that we don't spend hours tomorrow lost. And I'll say to Ink, perhaps you best are such a bright sunshine of fresh air. You can help raise morale for the troops, and then also snoop and find out where we might best be needed. I'm sure the captain will help and tell us where they want, but sometimes they're not seeing a full picture. Do you think you could do that for
Yeah, I
us?
certainly can. I'll go over and talk to the captain. As Ink agrees, this is my best I can do for Ink voice. as Ink heads over, Ink, yes, and Ink agrees, and they will do. Was you wanted them to
To go speak to like other soldiers, not the captain themselves, because we're gonna go talk to the captain. Have them go speak to other people and see like maybe where they're nervous about there being gaps, maybe a place where they can be tonight while we're dealing with the larger crowd, or
boost morale?
or also help boost morale too.
Okay. They turn to you. Right, I'll get right on it, and Ink will head off and do that.
We'll meet back up in a few hours at the tavern.
All right.
I'll say to them mentally before they leave, just so that way they know we can we'll reconvene. How long do you think that this interrogation took?
Probably like 10 minutes.
Oh, very fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because your spell only lasts for what, a minute?
I know, but like we might have spent a few minutes like preparing about what we're gonna talk about, and then
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
talking about stuff afterwards. So okay, should we go tell the captain what we've learned and prepare for this evening? It's only like early afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go out to Liliana and tell her what we've found.
Alrighty. So, leaving the knoll to just claw at itself as it just waves back. And in Draconic, all you hear is just no, as it begins rolling around. It does shout other things that sound similar to Abyssal, but since you don't understand, since you only understand Abyssal, you can't quite make out what it's saying, but it is definitely shouting something out in a strange language. And let me just make sure Ink doesn't understand it. Does or does not understand it.
I think Ink also knows Draconic.
Yes, they know Draconic, but do they know? No. Okay, so. Alrighty, so you all follow Ink out as Ink prepares begins talking to a lot of the people who are injured and assist them in any way that they can. You make your way searching around for the halfling captain, Lillian. I kept calling Liliana. It's Lillian. So my mistake. Lillian, as you spot her talking with Eliana. And looks like Eliana's getting chastised as you walk
Liliana,
up.
Eliana.
Did I say Liliana again? Lily.
No, Liliana, Eliana. It's like all
yes.
these names that are like so close.
Yes. That's probably why. Lillian and Aliana, yes. But you see Aliana getting chastised by Lillian as you walk up, and she goes, "And don't fucking bother me again. You're done." So how'd it go? Did you fail? Do I need to get clampy?
I don't think there's going to be a need for clamps in this situation. Also, I think the knoll is taking care of itself in forms of damage. Zendark was able to mentally probe and receive information in my line of questioning that I think we'll be able to generate a map onto where their den is. But we would like to stay here the evening and assist, fending off whatever knoll attack there may be. And hopefully in that time, by the time the morning comes, we'll be able to have a map that we can pursue this further.
So, did you get when the attack is? Did you get where they'll be coming from? No.
Unfortunately,
We gleaned deeper, bigger picture than that.
Amateurs. All right,
well, what Zendark is trying to say is, after sourcing where they are coming from, the mental damage inflicted upon itself, fighting our questions, proved to be too much for the beast. And, well, you'll see what it looks like now.
Well, at least you have a map, a location inside of the Mystic Mountains. That's more than any we've ever been able to acquire, so I'll give you that. Well then, if you want, you can speak with our cartographer who can draw up a map if you are not able to do so yourself, and then make a plan to raid this den. Hopefully we're able to defend against the attacks that may happen tonight. Well, I would say we should meet here by sundown. There are 3 areas that we were going to place under protection. If you're as powerful as they say you are, I would hope that you would be able to take the western section. That's the more dangerous part. But we will be able to focus our small dwindled numbers on the other 2 locations. Are you able to handle that, MGUs?
Yes.
I think so.
There will be a scout nearby who will be able to relay any information fast. Communication is key in war. In any case, for now, we are just preparing. Gather your things and prepare yourself for sundown. Meet back here, and I will have an escort take you to your post. And me. We just talk, Eliana. You're fucking going back to your father's office, and you will stay there safe and sound. And she storms off, leaving. Children. Anything else you need?
I don't think so.
No, we will make preparations for this evening.
Then I will see you then. You too, this way. And she takes 2 guards and continues to head throughout the tower.
All right. Can we like survey the area, go to that general area and start surveying it and maybe take a short rest?
Sure. So, as you go ahead and you got the gist of where it is, you don't really need an escort. You can easily walk over there and get a good survey of the town. You just get anything else lying around, gather up. Do you want Ink to stay or Ink to come along with you as well?
Come along with us for sure.
Yeah. So you gather Ink, and the four of you take anything else you need. Look back one last time, and leave the doors, heading to inspect the area that you are supposed to protect. And there, we will take a break.
Woo!
So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to have a exciting second half. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back in just about 10 minutes. So see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And we are back. Hello, everyone.
We're live.
Let's remove the bookmark and continue our tale.
We have tails now? Sick.
So, MGUs. At this point, the snow begins to fall heavier than it did earlier in the day as you make your way throughout the town of Roncalli. Going down the hill, you once again see all of the citizens still keeping a distance from you, but are fixing up their homes and cleaning up the streets. You hear whispers of, are they going to come again tonight? Just make sure when Sundown comes, you hide, and so on and so forth, as they're being warned of the upcoming battle against the Gnolls. But you continue walking an additional about half an hour, surveying every area, see places where you could buy shops, where you can get weapons and potions, things if you wish to stop there, until finally you reach a road that is less paved, made out of mostly just dirt with some gravel. Following that path, you follow the general direction that Lillian had told you until you see what looks to be a small, like a mill or a shack of some kind. Attached to it, a tower that stands just only about 10 feet tall. But it does give you, or say 15 feet tall, but it does give you at least some advantage elevation to see across the hills in the Mystic Moors. Sir, looking around in quick glance, everything seems pretty safe. Although this area does look abandoned or less traveled, and you get a sense why this will be an opportune area for someone to sneak in. What do you all wish to do?
Well, I'm no major tactician, but I think that we should first just simply have a look around and make sure that there's no obvious weak spots and holes in any of these walls and buildings.
The important thing is, if you do find a space that looks like it could be easily overcome or used to circumvent any of the defenses, please let me know, and we can look to see how best to fortify that position, if possible. I have never been in the field like this, but I did accompany my mother on several of her rounds of the town's guard. There are things that I know she would do, and Dolan is going to specifically start to look for any areas here that are blind spots or weak spots, and places that are just, that's not going to be an issue, that we don't have to waste resources. So he's going to spend his time specifically trying to weigh up the fortifications of this space and the defensive positions of this space. Not a tactician either, but just sort of trying to glean what he can from his memories of working with his mom.
Got it. Perfect. What are the two of you doing? And then Ink will also join anyone who needs assistance.
Yeah, I'll follow Dullahan's lead and maybe aid him in trying to find weak spots or potential places to, like, advantageous places for us to be. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll look, while he looks for weak points, I'll look for strong points. Like, maybe there's a cliff, you know, or some, you know, hiding things, and I'll sort of take note of those to then relay those points in case we have to, like, run or move. You know, I'll try and, you know what I mean, like, figure out, like, places for us to gather.
Got it. And Sully.
I think that I would like to go to I don't know, I guess some of the town's like storage and ask for a couple. They just be like large jars or something of oil, and I'd like to set some traps to where maybe we could, you know, I'll kind of gather some supplies that would like drop oil from like a height or of some sort, to find some of these weak points that maybe the gnolls are going to like come through and bottleneck through. And I'd like to set up some traps so that way we could like drop oil on them and maybe catch them on fire.
Okay, got it. So let's do a group perception check, and you all get advantage.
Oh, I also, thanks to my observer feature, with level up, I get an expertise die, which I believe, if I'm like looking that up correctly, is an extra D4 right now.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes, your expertise at this level is a D4, but it will rise
Cool.
as you level up.
Correct, yeah.
Or if you have like multiple instances of something.
Yeah.
So you can roll me. I would say perception or investigation if that's better for you, because both would apply in this case.
I'll still do the perception.
Oof, not great. Not great.
It's a group check, so as long as the most of you get high, that's all that matters. Oh, let me also do ink.
Nice. That's a 24 for me, Doc.
14 for Dullahan, because I rolled 2 bloody 10s.
I rolled way worse than that. I rolled a 12 total.
And an 8 for ink.
Oof.
Keep in mind, you don't have to use it here, but those of you who have Star Dragons inspiration, those of you who had stars and inspirations can use it. But all right, so ink 8, Dullahan 14, Sully 24.
Yep.
And 12 for Zendaric. Okay. So Sully, you walk away from the group after surveying the area and seeing if you can head back into town, gathering these belongings. For the most part, there are storage facilities, though you'll probably have to purchase them as the town is very hard on funds. But actually, knowing it's for the defense, you can take time to gather these things either through the aid of the Stormbringers, because you have plenty of time before sunset, or not. You can gather all the flask of oil and contraptions to set up traps, like rope and any type of gears that they happen to have here, in order to see if you can make some type of contraption. The rest of you, with ink in tow, begin inspecting the fence that's on the outskirts or the perimeter of the town. There are openings, yes. It looks like this place had been attacked by gnolls at some point, so there are places where they can easily get in if they knew they existed, and you can take some time to repair it if that's what you want.
I would. So if there's like fence or stone blocks or things that were like knocked out of the wall, if they're put back close to it, I'll say, if you guys hold it close, I can weave it back together. And I will cast mending and try and like mend and rebuild, like have the like metals fuse back together. If there's any stone plates, like if Dullahan like holds a boulder up, I can like mend it back into place, you know what I mean, type deal.
A large rock.
Large rock, not a boulder, you know what I mean. But we can spend some time doing that. But I also just want to throw in there, I would like to make sure that we spend at least have at least an hour for downtime for a short rest at the end. But short of that, I'll spend time like mending and prepping the defenses.
Got it. So, you all spend time gathering these items and mending the fence, and you do have quite a few hours before the meetup time back at where the Stormbringers are, which their facility, I should have mentioned, is called the Lightning Lure. And that would be written on top. I had forgot to mention that. But you can easily head back to the Lightning Lure when you finish. Sully, you return back with everything that you've asked for, easily given to you by the Stormbringers, and can set up traps. Where are you setting up traps, and what traps would you like to set up?
I think by the time I get back, I would meet back up with Declan.
Dullahan.
Dullahan.
That's on me for picking a name that sounds like my actual name.
And with that, I would like to, find some like entry points that seem like they're going to be probably used by these gnolls as perceived weak spots. They've been coming to the town already, so maybe I'd even check in with some of the guard to see where they've come in before. And I kind of want to set up like some flasks or containers of oil at like a height, and then like take like a small piece of like timber or something and have like a python like supporting it, something that could easily be like knocked out, and maybe even have them strung up in such a way that you could just like pull a string and like release the python, dropping the oil on whoever, and then then you could shoot some fire at them, or flaming arrows.
Sure. Where are you setting these up? Or are you just doing it randomly throughout town?
Yeah, just like randomly where their weak points are going to be at.
Alrighty. So, but you're doing it in your section, or are you trying to go to other parts of the town, or just in where you're watching?
Just our section where we're gonna be, so that way, like, if I set up with like the strings, I am able to, be where I can see them coming through in our section.
Sure. All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a d4? We'll see how many traps you're able to set up.
Big money, big money, big money. 2 traps.
Okay. So, it takes a little bit of time, but you spend, as they're repairing and inspecting, because there's quite a bit to repair, you are looking at those weak points and placing flasks and trying to make a simple like lever or a contraption that you can pull from a vantage point. You are able to, within the hours, set up at least 2 of them to work perfectly, putting the oil on the top, and yes, whenever they are pulled on, or even if they step onto it as like a sort of pressure point type of trap, the oil will land on them, covering them with that and making the area around it difficult terrain.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you wish to do anything with the tower, or that's probably the best vantage point if you want to be up on that tower. If not, you can stay on the ground and just inspect.
I'll be up on the tower, I guess.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything, or you guys are just chilling at the walls, just doing repairs?
After we've finished repairs, or like when we feel like time is appropriate, I would like to say to Dullahan, like, I need to take a break. I'm going to recharge myself and just take a little bit to myself, and don't push yourself too hard. We need to be ready for tonight's attack, and thanks for before. I appreciate you sort of jumping in and aiding.
Yep. He's not good at this. I'm so sorry, but he's like that. And he does, like, sort of, like, because he's seen people do it, and he thinks that's what you're supposed to do, and he just kind of, like, taps you on the shoulder a little bit, like kind of a, like, he doesn't hit you, but it's that, like...
That, like, bump, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little too hard than what it's supposed to be, but like he's not looking to like unarmed strike you. Like
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. But I'll get a water skin out of my bag for you in a moment. Don't take too long.
Dylan, yeah, like again, he's good. Like if we've done all we can with the walls and when we're kind of finished up with that, he's also gonna go kind of maybe back into the town. He specifically though is looking for Eliana.
Okay. In searching around, you go back into the town. So Sully, you rest and stay as the sun is beginning to set at this point. Not quite at the time to meet, but is starting to get later in the day. Sully, you're on top of the tower, and Zendark, you as well, as you drink your water skin. Dullahan, you make your way back into town searching. She doesn't seem to be anywhere nearby. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, see if you can find her.
Okay.
Sorry, does this count as a short rest? I also I was gonna say I also was gonna pull out my spell book and do arcane recovery.
Sure. Yep. I'll give you guys a short rest.
Oh, for the love of 8.
8. You search for quite a bit of time, and now is getting close to the time where you have to meet. Though you finally find her, not too far away from her manor, from the mayor's lodge, just practicing her sword, preparing. As she spots you looking over at her, she goes, "Oh, it's you." And she sheaths her sword. "Did you need something?"
Watch as I fuck this up. He's gonna approach her. I get the sense that you really care about this place.
Yeah, I do.
I find that really admirable. We've been working to maybe fix up one of the spots that the gnolls have come through. I know that people aren't happy that you've had to pay for our services. I don't know if I should be telling you this or what, but we know where the gnolls are coming from, and our job was to defend the township from the gnolls. I barely know the people I'm in, and he's like my circle with, that's what they call it up there. But they're doing what they can to help as much as possible, and take it from somebody who's lost their whole town. They are being as accommodating as they can with the terms and conditions of the job that was set. We are going to try and stop what's happening. Not just here tonight, but at its source. I know you mean well, and I know you really want to help. But you are probably better off serving your people, and they are going to need you if we fall, if we are not able to do what we have to do. I'm going to... We're guarding the mill. There's a part of the wall I've left my notes on the location. It's not a map, it's what we were able to learn. If anything was to befall us, and this is stupid, I know this is stupid because you are basically me, and I know what I would do in this situation. I would take the notes and run off into the mountains and desperately try and save everybody, save everything, and you would be making one of the stupidest mistakes of your life. I did it yesterday. I almost killed them. I almost killed those 3 people, and they tried to save me. And as I say this out loud, I know that this is probably something really stupid, Liana, but if we don't make it back, if we don't come back at the end of all this, you'll find the notes and the map. If we go to the temple and I find you there,
I appreciate this, she says. And you're giving her the notes?
I've put my notes, the ones that I made on what Zendarek was able to glean from the knoll, in a hidden space in the wall that I was mending, and that she can retrieve if we don't. That's the idea, is that she can retrieve them if we don't make it back. Maybe she can do something. He's trusting her to not do a dull hen on it, and run gung-ho ahead of us, because ultimately he's trying to convince her that, like, right now she's needed here. She's not needed to charging. He's trying to convince her not to do a dull hen.
Mm-hmm. She turns to you, and that for a moment there's a look of like her guard goes down. She goes ahead and places her hand inside of her armor, clenching onto a locket, that same locket that hung around her neck. Thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. You're the only person who's treating me well, like a person, not as the mayor's daughter. I understand. Thank you, Dullahan. She kind of like puts her hand on your shoulder, smiles slightly. Well, I guess I have to get back to training. They could be here at any moment.
Yeah, and he does the same thing that he did to Zendarek. He hits her in the shoulder.
She returns it, but it's a little bit harder.
Okay. Oh, okay, so I have to hit Zendarek harder next time. Got it, okay. And he's gonna head back.
All right, looking back one last time, you see her kind of touching the area that you punched and looking at it. Smiles a bit before going back, shaking her head and continuing her swordsmithing. Or say her swordplay. Alright. So, as you guys are resting, the sun is setting, you still feel confident that you feel confident that you were able to repair the walls, set up those traps, and knowing that you'll have to head probably about an hour to meet up with the captain at the Lightning Lure deck. Dullahan, you continue to make your way, going down the path, leaving the town into the more rural area of the outskirts. As the sky has a yellowish golden hue as the sun is beginning to set, there's a strange tingle that goes down all of your spine, almost like a calm before the storm, but you can't quite place it. Dullahan, as you get about 60 feet away from where your allies, or more like 100 feet away from your allies, you all hear an explosion that rocks Roncalli. With you in the tower, you have a vantage point. You're able to look over and see smoke billowing from that hill where the lightning lore is located. Dullahan, you being closer to the ground and close to the town, you look back and see the smoke coming off from that spire, and then the sounds of screams from the townspeople. As you look around and try to suss what went by, suddenly coming from, running down at blazing speed from the hill where the lightning lord was located, are a pack of these feral well, they're not feral, but a pack of these gnolls, laughing, cackling, as they are just grabbing people one by one. Several of them run past houses and are bursting down windows and doors, and grabbing what they can, as a small pack of them start to make their way west, where the rest of your allies, Dullahan, are located, as they take kind of like a side passageway to not pass you. What do you do?
Something stupid. Dullahan is going to charge the pack. And as he's doing that, he is going to, he's literally just going to run as fast as he can into the pack. And at that moment, he's going to just use his necrotic shroud to try and terrify if the people are afraid of the gnolls are going to be afraid of him. And he is going to cause his skin he's going to basically start to rot himself. And that thing of the gnolls should be afraid of him. So without hopefully kind of getting them to focus on him and not the people.
Okay, so the small pack that's starts to run past you through the houses, making their way to the west. You, though, go back into the middle of town as you start to approach 6 of these gnolls that are attacking people as the town folks are screaming and running. You see several of the guards who are stationed around gather the things quickly and try to make their way, but they are not alert enough. They're not ready, as they are surprised by this sudden wave of gnolls coming from inside the town, it seems, where the lightning lore was located. As the 3 of you, Sully, Ink, Zendaric, and, well, Big Steve, of course, can hear the explosions, and looking from your vantage point, you can see several gnolls making their way towards you. What do you 3 do?
I ready my traps.
Yeah, prepare an ambush.
Okay. Roll me a quick perception check. Not Dullahan, everyone else, though.
Ten.
6. No, 8.
8. Alrighty. Your gaze is fixated away from the gate and directly, or the fence, and onto the middle of town, where you see these, unsuspectingly, these gnolls making their way towards you as you ready yourselves to set up your traps and other items. And specifically, Sully, your traps were more towards the wall and not towards the middle of town. But as you get ready to gather your things in order to attack these creatures, I'll need everyone to roll me initiative.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Whoa. Now I roll a 15. Come on.
Lovely 10.
6. This is the
18
worst.
total for me.
Alrighty. Just adjusting some things, since technically Dullahan is not where you are.
Oh, goody.
Theater of the mind. You got what you asked for.
And right now, the theater of my mind is saying I'm winning. So.
Oh no, they're the map.
Oh.
I'm just placing you on that map
Ah,
instead of the other map.
the Happy Fun Time map.
Yes.
All right, so let's reveal the map for, and then you can close the. I can singly. Actually, I'm gonna share the map, Dullahan's map, with Dullahan, and I'm gonna add the extra nulls. There's a couple more nulls on there, and then I'm gonna share the map, your map,
Just a
with
few
you.
nulls.
You really don't have to though, Omar. You can pepper those nulls over on the other map, where there's a lot of players. Like I just throw that out there.
Oh, what a beautiful map. Is this a Chesapeake map? This
Why,
map.
yes, it is.
Oh, it's not on screen yet. Sorry.
Now it is.
Now it is. This map brought to you by Chesapeake. Please check them out. Check their Patreon. We'll be linking in the chat.
We got links.
Alrighty. So let's see the order, and then we'll put the map of whoever goes first at the forefront for the viewers at home. So we have Sully with an 18, Dullahan with a 10.
We need an ink as well.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Let's go ahead and roll inks.
And Big Steve, if Big Steve has his own initiative.
Big Steve will go after ink.
Fair enough.
I like immediately clicked it out by accident. Can you resend it?
No problem. Let me go ahead and roll that initiative for ink. Ink got a 9. All right, so we have Sully with an 18, Dullahan with a 10. Some creatures, followed by Ink, some more creatures,
Some
followed by
creatures.
Zendaric, and then more creatures. But with Big Steve going right after Ink, so I'm going to change his initiative to 9 as well.
Wow.
Alrighty, so
I don't see any of those creatures in my combat tracker.
I see none of them either.
Me either.
Oh.
So I think we're good.
oh no,
Right?
they will reveal themselves.
They will reveal themselves. Reveal
Zendark, what are you yelling out there? They're not just gonna show up.
I'm preparing for when I see them, so I have enough courage.
I just want to put
Good
them
thinking.
all in. Okay. Perfect. So those of you on, we'll call it the night map 1, which is called one calling night on the tower. You can now see 4 gnolls making their way up towards you. You hear them yell out and laugh, and it echoes throughout this small area as you brace yourselves, unbeknownst on what that call could be bringing, as you suddenly hear crawling and pining coming from the wall itself, and more gnolls begin to climb up from the outside as well, pincering you in a sense, though you have several traps set ready to take them on. As Sully, you will start the round.
Okay. Do I see there are 2 gnolls on the other side of a large tree?
Yes, I'm gonna back them up a little bit because they're not.
Are they?
Yes.
Do they look like they're gonna come through that gated entrance there?
Possibly. You're not sure where they're heading, but they've already have made their way over the walls and are making their way down towards somewhere.
Interesting. Interesting approach. All right. Well, in that case, I mean, I'm just gonna have my short bow ready, and I think I'll ready the action of like loosing an arrow, but I want to kind of set an arrowhead on fire with like a piece of cloth or something. Like, I'm assuming like when I was like planning these traps, I would have like gotten cloth on the arrowheads earlier and like got them ready to go. And I assume we have like a torch on this tower.
Yep, you can easily light a torch or have a torch already up in that tower to prepare. Cause Yep.
Because I knew I would like want to like, all right, flaming arrow, shoot it at the thing, explode hot flaming oil on top of them. So I will hold my action until I see the gnolls coming through the area.
Certainly. Alrighty. So you go ahead, getting ready, the torch ready, as you see the gnolls making their way towards the area that you have trapped. As you knock your bow and prepare. Dullahan, we're gonna go and move to your map.
Whoa.
You are still in the middle of town and around you, and I still have to add those gnolls there, so pardon me. Oops. Okay. All right. We'll normal it to 6. I mean 3. 3 gnolls. The other, we'll say the other gnolls are currently dispersing, leaving you with just 3 gnolls who are surrounding you as you've entered into this area.
Yeah, he's going to stick to what he was originally going to do, which was his Necrotic Shroud. So he's going to transform with the hope that it's going to, at the very least, frighten them. If not, it's going to embolden his attacks anyway. So they have to make a Charisma saving throw, DC 11.
All right. You should be able to target all 3 of them on the map. And let me know if you need to share the map again.
No, I have the map.
Alrighty.
Just need to figure out, because I'm on a Mac, and it's weird about targeting.
I was in Dark. Did you still need me to share the map for you?
No, I found it after you said the name. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Is there a way if I can see who I have targeted?
Yeah,
again?
in the combat
Sorry.
tracker in the upper right-hand corner, you can look under yourself and it'll tell you who you're targeting.
Currently, that says nobody. Okay, so maybe it's this button. Nope. I feel like someone's grandmother trying to like, this is how I do. Nope, I hit the turn complete button like an absolute idiot.
I think is it command, your command left click?
See, yeah, that's what I had been clicking, but it didn't seem to be doing anything specific. And now either I've done something and then I can't see the gnolls anymore, or
Yeah, I'll go ahead and... Yeah, it looks like something happened and they just disappeared. Let's go ahead and re-add them to the combat tracker, shall we?
and while I'm just going to double check.
Alright, let me know if you can see them now.
Let's see. Yes, I can. Yeah, I can see all 3.
Alright.
And I'm gonna try command just to see. Yeah, no, command just seems to do. I don't know if that's doing it.
Well, it's fine. Go ahead and I'll go ahead and roll for them. What's your spell DC? What's your DC?
11.
11. All right.
There's another way to do it, just so that way you know. If you click the little person icon all the way to the right, that will open like a little window.
Okay.
And then there's like a little trash can and then a little like target icon. If you drag that target icon onto the person, that would also allow you to target somebody.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I clicked the little person icon. Like, is it the effects one? Or is it the character icon on the left-hand side?
The one that says effects, yeah, and then it would let
Yeah.
you...
Okay, but when I click that, it just... I'm not seeing like a little trash can.
Oh,
That's all right. We'll go ahead and play. I think the issue is actually on my end, so apologies for that.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I think it is. And I will... So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely add new ones. 1, 2, 3. And then place them on the map now. Alrighty. So now you should be able to select no 1, 2, and 3 and be able to attack them.
Okay. Definitely seeing something different this time. Yes, I think so. Yeah, because they have targeted gnolls. Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Yep. Thank you.
Looks like it was on my end. Go right ahead and select them and roll their save.
Okay, and then where is my necrotic shroud? Now you're gonna have to remind me, Omar, if I've got necrotic shroud open. I don't see a way to have that as, because it's down as a trait rather than...
Oh, then you should be able to go to your abilities and might see it there.
Yeah.
Okay, and hit the little gear. Or...
There's just the chain, there's no gear.
Oh, yeah, well, hit the chain. Does that open it up for you?
Yes, it opens up just kind of the explanation, and then there's output record or locked. There's no roll.
Let's see here. Necrotic Shroud. Yeah, so if you go under race actions / effects, you should see Necrotic Shroud and a little gear next to it. At the top, towards...
Yeah, I get you.
And then you should be able to open up the little gear. I have opened it for you, and then you just simply need to hit that effect button.
Gotcha, yeah, thank you.
As they rolled a 6, so you can actually just hit the effect itself. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, so they're all frightened of me, and I get a bonus to one of my damage die every turn as well.
Awesome. Is that an action?
Yes, that's his action, yeah. And what he's going to do is, I think he will... he's going to move into... Well, I suppose, yeah, he's going to move into that space, kind of... actually, no, he's fine where he is. I'm not going to move him any further, just because I think if I do, even though they're frightened, they might be able to get a hit on me. That's him for now, because he can't take a bonus action to hit. So he's good. That's Dullahan, sorry.
All right, no worries. So, Dullahan, you run into the town, taking one chunk of the small pack of 3 gnolls, getting their attention. You cast your shroud as they laugh hideously in fear, though, and they begin to back up slightly as you take on this new necrotic form. Up next is the Gnoll Pack Lord, back on the map with our heroes in the tower. Alrighty. Just gotta add him. So the Gnoll Pack Lord will go ahead and shout out something in Draconic. You can barely make it out Sully, as it seems that he's giving them instructions, as he will use his action, his movement, to, after giving these commands, to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and they're gonna inspect this tower and see if there's anything inside of it worth collecting. That is the Gnoll Pack Lord's turn. Up next is Ink. Let's see what Ink wants to do. Let me open up Ink sheet and see what they have. Ink will use a bonus action to bardically inspire Sully first. So Sully, you have 1d6 within the next 10 minutes. As they go ahead and give you an inspiring word. You can do it, Sully. Let's take down these gnolls, or something more. Ink is definitely a lot more articulate than I am. And as an action, let's see. The distance from this gnoll is 50 feet. So Ink will cast Sacred Flame. Ooh, it fails, taking 2 points of radiant damage. Ink will end their turn there, ready to follow you all, depending on your next move. Up next, all the gnolls in the back. First is the silly gnoll, the silly-looking gnoll, who just laughing away. Will go ahead and hear the commands from the commander. After climbing over the wall, I would say that was his entire movement. It has ended there. Instead, it will dash and use its next action to get to the tower. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Getting right to that fence area as it bursts through. So you were holding your action. Is this where you would like to do it, or are you going to wait for the next one?
I'll do it now.
All right, go ahead and use your reaction to do your held action.
Okay, going to my actions now. I have a short bow that I will release upon. Oh, 22 is a hit.
That hits.
And I'm not actually aiming at the gnoll. I'm aiming at the pot of oil above the gnoll.
Nice. You easily able to hit the pot as shit shatters, dousing the gnoll in oil as you just see it move around, trying to shake it off of its fur.
And it's now on fire.
Okay. It ignites from your flaming arrow, and it will take... Go ahead and roll me 2d6.
10 points of fire damage, I'm guessing?
10 points of fire damage. Right. You see the gnoll writhing in pain as it passes through the wave of flames, and his fur is, yes, very, very well on flames. That
Nice.
was his action, so he will end his turn there. Next up will be the wild gnoll. This gnoll is just jumping back and forth. Seeing the flames that are there, will attempt to make its way through the trees to get around you, or take another route, because that place is currently on fire. And I'm going to draw a little circle here to signify that.
Get burnt!
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It will dash. 15, 20, 25, 30. Now knowing that you all are up in there, their gaze has been focused not on looting anymore, but on dispatching these foes. Alright, that's the wild gnoll's turn. Zendaric, you are up next.
How hurt does the silly gnoll look?
A chunk of his health. It doesn't look like it's on death's door, but a chunk of his health has been depleted.
Okay, I'll say, nice shot, Sully. I'll finish this one off, and I'll take a step forward and leaning outside of the parapet, and I believe it is within 60 feet. I will take aim, and I will launch off a chromatic orb. So my arcane diamond Rubik's Cube will focus and flip through a few different colors, but I will ultimately turn it to an ember red and add to the flames if I hit. 9.
That is a miss, unfortunately. Even on fire, the silly knoll is just dancing around too much for you to get a precise shot.
I'm gonna say this knoll's so silly dancing around. I got it though. I got it. And I will. And my turn. I've got a bonus or nothing. Jesus. So that's it.
All right. Moving back to the middle of town, the 3 gnolls are going to go ahead and take their turns. Now, even though they are fearful of this Dullahan, do they have to move their... Do they have any special thing they have to do when they are feared by you, or is it just they have disadvantage on their attacks?
So they would... Yeah, like they can't get any closer to me, but they have disadvantage on their attacks, I believe. And I'm also wearing my Displacer Cloak, which... also gives them disadvantage on hitting me. Just throwing that out there too. If you want to roll disadvantage twice, make sure it definitely doesn't hit me.
Not a thing, but they will definitely go ahead and make a strike. Fearful, they cower from your hideous visage, but will still attack with their claws. Actually, one of them has a weapon, and the other ones have claws. So the first one is going to go ahead and do a bite attack. And that is no 1. All right, that is going to fail with an 11. That misses. Up next is the second gnoll. Let's see what that ability does. Oh, okay. This is the one with the spear. It will take out a spear and make an attack against you, Dullahan. Its spear giving it some reach so it doesn't need to move. Ooh, double 19s.
Yep, that hits.
All right, for 23. So that is going to be...
Ooh. Ooh, hang on a second. Hang on. There might be something stupid I can do. See... Yeah, I think Dullahan is going to cast Shield as a reaction.
Okay. Does that how high does that raise your AC? Is it beyond a 23?
No, because I can't do math. That only brings me up to 22. Never mind.
Okay. Then you don't need to waste it. It's fine.
See something stupid. There you go.
All right, so you take 8 points of piercing damage. The third gnoll will also attack with its spear. Let me make sure this is at disadvantage. Alrighty. It is a 9 versus your AC, which misses. Alrighty, so the 3 gnolls, fearful, attack, but your dreadful image just puts them into a state where they're unable to hit well, except for that one that did stab you straight in the gut, pulling it back. Up next... Oh, Big Steve, who actually was supposed to go with Ink. So Big Steve is just going to take the dodge action because we're not going to do anything else anyway. As he will remain behind everyone on top of that tower. Back on the other map. The gnoll, the final gnolls will take their turn. And what they're going to do is just dash up, knowing you're on that mountain, or I say on that tower. 2.
I wish I could have prophesized where the masses were coming from. to have placed the oil where the group was.
And they will end their turn there, ready to launch attacks from atop or to come up the tower.
Feel like there should be more oil right there.
Yeah,
towards the other entrance,
there are oil at the entrances. There's an oil there as well. So if you wish to, on your turn, you can.
Oh, I just might.
Alrighty. So, note to self: I make this map way too big. We will go to the top of the round, and that is Sully Oberto. What do you wish to do?
Seeing that there is a flaming silly knoll behind me, or in front of me now, and hearing the pack come from behind where I currently am standing, I'm going to move myself to stand next to Ink and approach over the edge. Hopefully there's some sort of parapet I can see through. And I will launch another flaming arrow over my second trap.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll that attack.
Did it do it? Nope. Come on now. I'm going to add that D6.
Go ahead and roll that.
Come on. Any hooser. That's a 1. That's a 13 hit a jar.
I would say, because it's the jar, a 13 would hit the jar, yes. It's small, but it's above average, so a 13 would definitely crack it, enough where it will cause a chain reaction and all the jars will fall down, igniting this area as all those within a 5-foot radius, so these 3 gnolls will take 2d6 worth of fire damage.
Excellent. Now that's...
Oh, I'm sorry, you roll.
Yes, please. 8 is much better than 2, so I'll take that.
8 points of fire damage.
Awesome. I think so. That's like my full action. I guess what I would do for a bonus action is that like ready my next shot, which will give me hopefully advantage on the next turn.
Readying your next shot?
Yeah, there's like a term for it that you can always do in 5e. It's like one of those things that everyone always forgets about. And of course...
You mean as an action? Because you use your action to fire.
No, there's like a bonus action thing that you can always kind of do.
Huh. Alright, I'll look. Let me see what that is very quick. I want to make sure you get it, but I just don't.
Yeah.
So it's a bonus action. You can make an offhand attack, cast a spell, or use a class feature. Or is there something else you have, maybe particularly to your class?
I don't think it would be specifically to my class. I guess I would, I'll pass my turn until I figure out what it was supposed to be.
Alrighty.
Rachel did it the last session we had a combat, and I like totally forgot that was like a thing. But anyways,
Alrighty.
I'll look that up for right now.
Up next. Yeah, if you find it, yeah, I'll just give you advantage on your next attack. I just do not recall. Delahan. So you are surrounded by the 3 gnolls who are still technically... How long are they in fear of you?
Minute, I think.
Okay, so they're going to be like this the entire time. Now, do they get to roll any saves at the end of their turn, or are they always?
I can double check. Action.
Oh, it says expired, so I'm assuming it's...
So this lasts for 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action.
Oh.
And your transformation It doesn't say anything about the frightened. Hang on, I can just check frightened as a status. Frightened is a status 5e. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Yada yada yada. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. It doesn't say how long it lasts, though. But if you want, we can keep it up until the duration of my necrotic shroud, that 1 minute thing.
Yeah.
Because suddenly I would stop looking like a weird decaying corpse.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you're still in that. So go ahead and continue your turn. They will still be remain fearful to you, and I'll look it up.
So, I think what he's going to do is, after getting kind of shanked by the gnoll, he's just going to hold out his hand and summon his double-bladed scimitar, and he's going to lunge at Gnoll, the first Gnoll, with the double-bladed scimitar to basically just slash at it.
All right. And also, it says till the end of your next turn, so the frighten will be dropped at the end of this turn.
Okay, cool. So that was an 18 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. And there is an extra, because of the necrotic shroud, there is an extra damage die with this as well. Thankfully. Oh, that wasn't too bad. That was 6. I think the damage die for that is it's an extra D4. Or did it add that as well? No, there's an extra D4 of necrotic damage done to that as well.
All right, go ahead and roll that D4.
Oh no, sorry, it's just 4. Our spell
4.
deals 4 points of extra. Yeah, sorry, an extra 4 points of extra necrotic damage to one target.
Got it. That was the Gnoll number 1.
Yes, and then in that same sort of movement, then with the double-bladed scimitar, he's going to, having slashed at Gnoll number 1, in that same movement, sort of turn his body and swing towards Gnoll number 3 for a second attack. Where's my... Oh, there it is. And 17 hits.
Yep, 17 hits. Roll that damage.
Okay. And that's 10 slashing damage. There's no bonus 4 for that one.
Got it. That was
And
Gnoll number 3.
that was Gnoll number 3.
Okay, so you continue to slash at all these gnolls, splitting the damage between them as you take the most advantageous position. But as your form continues to glow, you see them start to wake up, realizing that you are still mere flesh, and the fear starting to die down as they're ready to strike you when the opportunity presents itself. Okay. You still have your movement, though, and anything else you wish to do.
No, he's going to stay here. He's going to dispatch these 3 before he goes and does anything else. That'll be 3 less gnolls to deal with.
Alrighty. Up next is the Gnoll Pack Lord, who sees the flames, shouts out in Draconic as he, warning the rest of the group, as he goes ahead and will whip out his longbow and will take a strike against Sully in a bow versus bow. Dirty 20.
I guess that hits then.
Alrighty, and he does. Six points of piercing damage.
That happens.
Okay. And with this movement, them flames are in the way. 5, 10. It's going to roll an athletic check, see if it can get over the fence where the flames are not. So I did not roll in the box. Okay, there we go. Yes, and he is able to make it over to the other side, continuing to head up towards towards the tower, ending the Pack Lord's turn. Ink is up next. Ink will give Zendarik a bardic inspiration. This time.
What's Ink say?
You can do it. Let's get him. Our circle will prevail. I feel like that's such not an Ink thing. I can't capture that essence that Rachel can get for Ink. I just can't.
That like quirky.
That quirkiness, that awesomeness. But yes, you do have 1d6 to the next roll of your choosing within 10 minutes. That was a bonus action, and let's look at, let's see what else Ink can do here. Vicious Mockery. Ink will viciously mock the wild gnoll that seems to be making its way towards the fence. It has to make a DC 13 saving throw, which it failed, and it takes 1d4 psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack roll. Alrighty. That ends Ink's turn. Up next, we have the Silly Gnoll. Silly Gnoll's on fire. Silly Gnoll's gonna use his action to roll around and put out the fire as he runs out. You see the gnoll just drop to the ground, just like just rolling back and forth as it drops prone, patting itself out, and then getting back up with half of his movement. Once the flames die down, he will slowly make his way up just 10 more feet additionally to try to climb the tower or go through the door that's down there, and will end his turn. The wild gnome who has been viciously mocked will pull out a longbow and strike at Ink, who have mocked. But is that disadvantage? For 10, which misses. Zendarik, you're up next.
Okay. Looking at this silly gnoll, is he's stood back up and is running towards us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to lob another orb at it, but this time it's going to change its hue and essence, and it crackles with lightning as it leaves my diamond focus. And I will cast Chromatic Orb at it again. Are you kidding me? This silly gnoll, so silly. So silly.
So silly this gnoll is, as you're unable to land again with your Chromatic Orb.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me use the Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
This is a perfect time to potentially make it work. Does a 15 hit?
Let's check his AC. Yes, a 15 just hits.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Ink. And the lightning looks like it's zooming past, and it crackles backwards into it.
Roll damage.
On theme, on point. 14 points of lightning damage.
This gnoll is not looking good, as its fur was already singed with the flames, and now it stands on end after being electrocuted. You hear it as it gets struck by your lightning, and just barely holding on to life. Anything else you wish to do in your turn?
I will take a few steps backwards, because I was sort of leaning over the edge, just so that way I can survey the scene and look at the gnolls that are gathering behind me.
Alrighty.
Makes sense, you know what I mean? Or sorry, let me grab an actual square. There you go. So that will just take that 5-foot step, and I do not have a bonus, so I will end my turn.
Alrighty. The gnolls that are attacking at the town square will now go. They are no longer frightened, and now look at each other. The gnoll number 1 will hold his action. No, gnoll number 1 will move 5-10 feet to get into a more advantageous position. Now flanking, he will make an attack at advantage with his bite. As he takes a chomp out of Dullahan. 21 versus your AC.
You're muted. You're muted. And also,
I got muted, but I think, did we lose
I know,
Omar?
we did lose Omar.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, no, it's fine. I was also having it because my screen was doing a weird thing where I couldn't click. Technically, he doesn't have advantage because even though he's flanking me, I'm still wearing my cloak of. So he would just have a regular attack roll on me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna re-roll it then. That's right. I forgot about your cloak. We need to add that effect onto your character. But I'm gonna roll one more time then. 18 versus your AC.
God damn it! Yes, it does. Here comes shield. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast shield.
All right. So you go ahead and cast shield as a glowing energy appears, blocking the attacks from his bite. As it's like, king, his teeth almost crack underneath the pressure of your magical aegis. Well, that will end his turn. So gnoll number 2 will stay where he is and just use a spear attack. $19 doesn't hit because of your shield.
Yep.
And the next, and it was at disadvantage, so actually it would miss regardless. But I'm gonna roll one more time because nat 1s do count. Okay.
No.
All right, and finally, gnoll number 3 with the spear as well will go ahead and will two-hand it to get it to raise for a D8, and will at disadvantage make a strike against you. Also misses. So the gnolls attempt to strike at you, Dullahan, but with the items that you've rented from the Fractal Centaurum, you are aided in battle. Like a after image appears every time they make a strike, hitting nothing but air. The gnoll champion is up. Them flames are getting them in the way. Getting in the way of these guys. He's gonna go 5, 10, 15, move over to the corner, and just start to just take shots at you from below.
Ooh.
Alright, the first attack. Oh no, he doesn't have a bow. So he's just going to have to run through the flames. 5, 10, 15. I'm going to have him make a dexterity saving throw to see if he gets burned.
Burn, baby, burn.
Damn 19. It. So he's able to kind of run through without burning his skin, and will continue to make his way up to the tower. 20, 25, 30. He will dash 10, and he doesn't have a climb speed, so it will take half his movement, but you're only 15 feet up, so he gets about 10 feet up and will stop right there. You just see this gnoll gripping with his claws into the stone exterior, climbing his way up towards you all. The bashful gnoll will go. Shy, it burns on fire, screaming in pain. It will attempt to put out the flames with an action, or else will take a d6 at the end of his turn. But it will move out the flames, though. 5, 10, 15. will go ahead and use action to put out the flames before dropping to the ground and standing back up. Unable to move any further, it will end its turn. The Enlightened Knoll will...
Was it able to douse the flames?
Yes, it uses actions to douse the flame. Put it out, so it wasn't able to
Stop,
do that.
drop, and roll, I see.
Yes, stop.
Just
drop,
on
and-
itself, though, but like not in the area.
Yeah, not in the area. The area is still
Okay.
aflamed. The Enlightened Knoll will move out as well, but instead it will not use its actions and will have to just make a save at the end of his turn to see if it's on fire, but instead will swallow the pain, and in a strange turn of events, this Enlightened Knoll begins speaking in Draconic. Those of you who understand it, you hear it casting a spell. As it shoots out, and this is very odd. Gnolls do not cast spells, but the mana flows around this creature as it releases a firebolt at Sully.
Little old me? Come
19.
on now, this is ridiculous.
It has a +0 to its attack. Straight 19. You take 5 points of fire damage at the end.
I suppose so.
At the end of his turn, it has to make a... Actually, I'm going to say a Constitution saving throw, not a Dexterity, because it's already on fire. To see if it can put out the flames. A 16, that's just going to do it. It's able to put the flames out and is no longer in fire, but did take... that massive amount of damage from before. Up next, after the Enlightened Knoll, is the Laughing Knoll, who's also on fire and will use his action to place out the... Not trying to risk it, will step out and use his entire action and movement to put out the fire, ending his turn right outside the flames. Alright, top of the round, Sully.
I see this knoll, like, trying to climb up this wall. And I will take my personal flask of oil that I have and pour it down the side of the wall as my action, I guess. Would that be
Okay.
the full action?
Yeah. I'm gonna have him make a dexterity save. See if he can hold on or slip down to the bottom because you're making slippery oil.
All right. And
DC 13. And it fails as you put down the oil and you see it falls down to the ground, taking it was about 10 feet up, so 1d6 fall damage. 6 points of fall damage. And this was
Fair enough.
This was on the Knoll champion.
and then I suppose I have to do something with a bonus action, right? I will hide as a rogue. I can do that as a bonus action.
Yes.
So these stupid crits don't hit me anymore.
Snicky.
So you go ahead and duck down behind one of the parapets, hiding in plain sight so they don't hit you. Any attack against you will be at disadvantage.
Yes. And that should be my turn.
Alrighty. Up next, Dullahan. They have now taken a better position, a more tactical position. How do you respond?
I think Dullan kind of seeing that he's sort of pincered between two. He's reluctant to turn his back to one just for fear of them being able to see that as a moment for an opportunity. So he's going to, just with kind of a flick of his wrists, he's just going to snap the connecting joint in his double-bladed scimitar just to make it. He's now holding two scimitars, one on his left and one on his right, and taking quite a defensive maneuver. He's going to again stay focused on Knowles 1 and 3, and he's going to make his attacks against them.
Alrighty, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, I'll go for Knoll 3 first, just to... I feel like he deserves it more. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
5, and he'll take an extra 4 with the necrotic shroud there as well, so that's 9 in total.
Nice. He is looking very weak.
Okay, and then same as before, he's going to then again with his right hand swing out at the other Knoll number 1. 14 and a miss.
14 just misses, unfortunately.
And that's it for all his kind of actions and bonus actions. Would Dillahan know offhand how far away he is from the others? Just sort of
You're about
having
100
walked
feet
here from
away.
them. He's just gonna roar up as loudly as possible. The town is under attack. They're in the town. He's like in the hopes that his voice will carry. Like his lungs burn and his throat scratches with how loud he shouts.
Alrighty. So making those attacking, yelling with all your might, you hope your allies can hear so they know what the situation is. But the battle goes on. There's still Knowles around attacking, but at this point, there are many Stormbringers that have joined the fray, finally getting back to their senses and establishing some sort of command. They have now begun their battle against the Knowles that have taken over or attacked the town. Up next is the Gnoll Pack Lord. The Gnoll Pack Lord is gonna attempt to break in through the door and make his way up the stairs. 5, 10, 15, 20. Looks on over at the Gnoll that fell to the ground and ignores it. 25. 13 has entered into the building, but is at the bottom floor. He will have to... Actually, he can dash, which he will, to get to the top. Using another 30 feet, he runs up, climbing, getting right in front of you using Dark before he makes his way all the way to the top, and will end his turn right there. Ink
Push him off! Push him off, Ink! Push him!
Okay. Ink will move over to the side and we'll do a push action. We'll attempt to push.
Say shove.
A shove. Thank you. I said push action. Yes, a shove action. And we'll roll contested checks. So let's see. Ink is not a strong one, but hey, you never know.
I actually foresaw this moment earlier today, and I will use my reaction and my prescient vision and give him the 2 that I rolled earlier. My glance into the future.
Okay, so as long as Ink doesn't...
as long as she don't fucking total whiff, we're good.
Yeah, as long as they don't go ahead and go and whiff, yeah, because they have a negative
Why
1
would you
for
put it
strength.
in the universe?
Come on, Ink, push him. I saw him fall. I think I saw him fall.
I mean, it's a 2.
Are you kidding me?
Right?
Are you kidding me right now?
I gotta remind myself, who wins in this? I think the defender wins. Or does the attacker
Is it an
win?
attack? The attack wins. 'Cause
Yeah, I think so. Let me just look it up very quickly.
Okay, it's like this. If I rolled a 14 and the AC was a 14, what would happen?
Oh yeah, you were hit.
So
Yeah, meets it,
there
beats
you
it.
go.
Meets
Yeah.
it, beats it.
I didn't know if shoving was different.
It's just a special attack. I mean, let me look up what a shove.
Do we need to dig into the details?
Yeah,
I'm
You can just-
digging.
it's fine.
I'm digging.
It's fine. It's just.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it met, so therefore it beat. Alrighty, so
I mean, there's other roles that we could have had happen here,
Yeah.
but
It's fine. So the No Pack Lord, after you portent this and see and like kind of bring this prophecy into fruition, the No Pack Lord just slips back on the wet snow on his feet, and you just see as it will fall the full 15 feet and take 2d6. I'm gonna say.
technically
Uh,
it worked.
Yeah, I'm 8 points of fall damage to the Pack Lord. And that will be Ink's turn. I'll save. Ink has one more bargain inspiration, but I'll save it just in case. Big Steve will just continue to take the defensive position, and just in case one of these hyenas, gnolls make their way up.
Can you move that dude 1 square away?
Oh,
On the
yeah,
gr-
it should
on
be on
the-
the ground here.
On
just
that
too-
gra-
It's
on
just
the
too
ground.
scary for Zendark right,
Right,
now.
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Alrighty. Up next, Silino. Silino's gonna look and see its Pack Lord on the ground and is just laughing as it will attempt to
Keep being
5,
silly.
10, 15, 20. Will start to climb, only going 5 feet, and then will dash to climb the rest, making its way right in front of Zendark.
Downtown.
Right in front, is like kind of climbing over. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. It's right on the edge, as it takes an entire dash action to make it on top there. That will end the Silly Gnoll's turn. The Wild Gnoll has a spear, or a longbow, and will instead just go ahead and attack Zendark.
Would
12
Zendark have
versus-
partial cover just to be extra safe?
You know what? Yeah, you do, because you're a little bit far back, and you have cover, so that would raise your AC, but a 12 misses nonetheless.
Thank you, mage armor.
Nice.
Alright. Bounces off your mage armor. As it is now your go, Zendark.
Okay.
Push
so if I take a step over here, still being within the Silly Gnoll's range, would I be able to see both him and the Gnoll pack leader on the ground? If I take this step to the left.
From there to see which one, the Wild Gnoll, or which
No,
Gnoll?
no, like
The
like
one on the ground.
these
the
ones
pack
here.
one.
Like, would I be able to see him technically?
Oh yeah. Yes, you can see him from there.
Okay. As I take this step, my diamond Rubik's Cube arcane focus starts to glow, and I tap a few of the symbols and create a blue hue to it, and I channel this frigid cold around me into a singular space where it becomes so frigid it binds them, and I call forth Rhymes binding ice, and this and I like smack my hand forward, and this like pea of ice shatters into like a cone, like a mini cone of cold at these gnolls. Targeting them, and they will have to make a Constitution saving throw.
They fail with a 7.
Oh, I untargeted the Silly Gnoll, but okay, let me.
Yeah, fail with a 7 as well. They would have rolled the same.
Okay, thank
Rolled
you.
the same.
And so they take 12 points of damage,
Nice.
with it looks like
Nice.
the Silly Gnoll dying.
Yes, you obliterate this Silly Gnoll with your cold, rhyme-like ability. Excuse me.
It also has for 1 minute. It has the ice crystals literally form around it and reduce its speed to 0, and it must use an action to break the ice to get out of it, or another creature can break the ice.
Got
I
it.
have a very, very serious question here, DM.
Yes.
When Zendark did this, would the silly knoll turning to an ice cube been whooshed off the side of the parapet and back onto the other knoll if going in a straight line? Just wondering what a completely frozen knoll would do with landing on top of another completely frozen knoll.
Falling 15 feet. That would hurt. But let's see. Why don't we roll a D100? Zendark, 50 and below? No. Above 51? 51 and above? Yes. And then we'll
All
do
right.
2d6 damage.
Unfortunately.
Damn. Okay.
Shatters
that's fine.
next to the knoll, but does not.
The frozen lumped carcass falls at the feet of the pack lord and becomes part of the icicle that grows around him.
Right.
Spicy.
Nice.
Yeah, a creature is hindered by ice has its speed reduced to 0 on a successful save. It takes half. Blah 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 blah. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and it's for 1 minute or until it or another creature within reach uses an action to break the ice. So it has to use a full action to get out.
Got it. Anything else you wish to do this turn?
That was... I just took a step, my action. I do not have a... Actually, we heard him shout.
Yes,
that
you
he-
did hear that. You heard the shouts of Dullahan about the town being under attack.
I'll look to Sully quickly, and I said, "That was Dullahan. Should I go?"
Yeah,
He's
I
not-
think you should go help him out. I have an idea for these next couple down here south of us. I'll join you as soon as I can with ink.
Okay, and then I will. So I only took a 5-foot step. I will use my face step to land. Oh, this is perfect. I will leap off of the edge and face step down, seeing this wild knoll behind me. And as I land, it's sort of like as if I walked through. I know it's like frigid and cold here, but when I land, it's almost as if like a warm autumn breeze sort of blows past me, and this scent wafts onto the wild knoll, and my face steps are intoxicating. He has to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me.
Ooh, go ahead and select them and make an
Extra
wisdom saving.
spicy.
Failure with a 2.
All right, so he is charmed for me, or charmed by me for the next minute. So I'll say, you should come with me. Don't worry about them. And I'll mimic back. And sort of gesture like sort of like Trixie Faye, like, come on, follow me, and sort of go towards where I heard Dullahan yell out.
Alrighty. And it will follow you, ignoring the orders of the Pack Lord. It will, on its turn, make its movement towards where you go, as you begin to head towards Dullahan. Speaking of Dullahan, you are being attacked by these gnolls. Although your displacer cloak does aid, they are relentless, as no one will continue the same. It is now fixated on taking you out. So, with the bite attack, a 7, which misses. Gnoll number 2, with its reach, will attack at disadvantage with its spear. Dropping in at 20.
Thank you, Displacer Cloak.
And finally, Gnoll number 3 with its spear will attack. 19 versus your AC.
He'll cast Shield again using his reaction.
Alrighty.
It's 3 versus 1, so he's going to have to try and stave off some hits.
So Dullahan, you're just blocking with your magic as much as you can as these gnolls continue to poke and prod. You see the battle is still getting engaged. More gnolls making their way from the lightning lore as they attack more of the Stormbringers and the townspeople. This is not the passive just stealing valuables as you were told. They have definitely become a lot more aggressive from the last encounter that you were informed. The Gnoll champion had fallen, had used half his movements to get up, and will instead attempt to make its way towards the door, which is right here, and just move in 10 feet. So it doesn't quite get inside, but is making his way up the steps. Oh, actually, no, he'll just dash. He will use his action to dash and will make it to the top. But that was his action, he could not. The bashful Gnoll doesn't notice Zendar quite yet. Will instead just longbow at Sully in disadvantage, not sure exactly where he is. First attack is a 6. And that ends his turn.
That's a miss.
The Gnoll Enlightened will see ink, though, however, and will attempt to, let's see what the distance on the spell, yes, can reach, use a frostbite against them. There's a chance in Draconic. Ink has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. I don't think Ink is very constitutionist.
Alright, that is a failure.
How unconstitutional.
So they will take 4 points of cold damage. And I believe... and they have disadvantage on their next weapon attack roll before the end of its next turn. But Ink doesn't use weapons, so that might be fine. Right, that will end the Enlightened Gnoll's turn. The Laughing Gnoll. They're distracted. Oh, you're so lucky, Zendar. They are distracted by the fire that's going. They can't quite see that you jumped down. So instead, the Laughing Gnoll laughing his way all the way up to the top of the tower as he will dash to get right behind the Gnoll champion. So we have 2 on its way up there in that very confined spot. And as the battle continues to rage on, this unsuspecting surprise attack by the Gnolls, as you all defend and try to stop them from attacking the town of Roncalli, we will end tonight's session, as it is that time. So, we will definitely be picking up next week as this battle continues. Will our heroes survive his attack, or will the Gnolls gnaw at their souls? We will find out. But before we head off, why don't we just give our social stars and wishes to close out the evening, starting off with Travis.
You can find me here. I am Zendark, your resident wizard and enchanter. Am I unmuted? Yeah, I am. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Just checking. Or OMG, it's Travi on Twitter, until we move to Blue Sky and other fun, better places.
Twitter X.
Twitter X. Yeah, and I will give my... I'm going to give my... star to Declan for Dullahan for trying to be mature and I mean, he was a little immature giving it to the girl, but he was like, I feel like it was a gross moment for him, so happy to see it, glad to see it. And I don't know, my wish for next time, I guess, is to continue to have a fun epic battle. I'm ready to like continue to show off spells and have fun, maybe level up.
Yeah, that's a good wish.
You can't wish for level up. I said that 7,000 times.
Oh, okay. I'll wish for enough experience to put me close to leveling up. Okay, that's everything. Pass.
All right, Declan, your stars, wishes, and socials.
My socials are the Dova Queen. You can find me over on what's now apparently X, whatever the hell we're calling that, but that's on Twitter. Or you can catch me at D8 Dungeon. That's probably a bit easier to find than Dova Queen. My stars are for... I think I'm going to give it to Travis for kind of... Like, it's that thing that there's a bit of kind of mutual respect that this is going to sound really, like, not a compliment, but it is. There's a mutual respect that Dullahan has kind of found for Zendaric in that, like, fine, Zendaric seems to play it all by the book because, you know, he's possibly a brown noser. But he saw a little bit of, like, Zendaric's morals that he kind of very much aligns himself with, which was that torture is just fucking wrong, regardless of whether there's a war or not. So he really kind of appreciated that. My wish is that I can definitely make next Sunday because I want to kill some gnolls. I'm not usually a fan of combat, but this is like my leg was bouncing really bad from like nerves, so that's always a good sign. So the combat was epic, and I just want to participate in more combat. That was class. Sorry, I'll shut up. Thanks. That's my wish. Fight.
Yes, we will hope that, because we know. Just to remind us, next week isn't aren't you and your team having something special going on?
We do. We've a small, little, stupidly large, ridiculously stressful, super fun fundraiser. We're organizing a fundraiser next week called D8 Dungeon Drive. It's a 2.5 day marathon of tabletop role-playing games, all raising funds for Trans Lifeline. And you might see a familiar face on Friday night. You might see two familiar faces on Friday night, as Omar is joining us for a very special, utterly ridiculous game called 10 Simple Rules for Overthrowing a Kingdom. Again. And all proceeds, like I said, are going directly to Trans Lifeline. And you can participate in the games, and there's loads of prizes to win as well. So hopefully we will see you over on our Twitch channel over the weekend, next weekend.
What time?
Yeah. So the Friday night game is we're getting ready at 7:30, so it'll be 8 p.m. our time. What's that, like?
6 hours, right?
Around 2 or 3 o'clock. I think
5 hours. 5
hours.
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time, anyway.
Yeah, we'll work it out. It's there somewhere. But yeah, and it's the rest of the weekend then. It's from 12 p.m. Irish time until 1 a.m. Irish time each night. So there's 9 games in total taking place with players and DMs from all over the world participating to raise funds. So
amazing.
Can't wait.
Yes. Please check it out, twitch.tv/D8Dungeon for all of that goodness. And last but certainly not least, Zeki, social stars and wishes.
Well, you can find me at Zektown on everywhere. And Star? Gonna give that to Zendaric for doing like the mind probing earlier. I felt like that was a really good opportunity to do some good RP because I just happened to know Draconic. So that was really fun, and I feel like we were able to get some really solid information out of that. And then for my wish, I wish that I would have remembered to use my Stone of Controlling Earth Elementals. And I think we're gonna see some fun smashing stuff the next time we play. And I wish that we get through the combat so that way we can go to this lost temple. That's my next wish.
Awesome. So, by my count, that is 2 for Zendark. So, Travis, you have once again gotten the star inspiration. I believe you have 1. This is your maximum of 1 that you get. I would suggest that you use it.
All right. I have to keep 1 on reserve so that way, you know, if I fall unconscious, you know, I can activate my prophecy power. So this is now my use it. This is my use it inspiration.
Awesome. For my quick meta moment, yep. This battle is just one of possibly many as you make your way, if you are going into the Vesper Mountains. I mean,
okay, villain.
we will see.
Loads.
We will see.
And yeah, we just got. Did I just hear a possible BBEG drop? I don't know. We'll have to find out. You learned some lore. I can't wait till you dive more into it. Don't forget, the first episode we had that faction war when we learned about that when we got into the Void. So we'll be diving into the whole lore of the world very shortly. But with that being said, thank you so much everyone for coming. Thanks so much to the amazing cast and everyone putting up to the slight technical difficulties we had today. Apologies for that. As always, you can catch everything A Tale of D20s at www.ataleofd20s.com. All music has been from A Tale of D20s, our very own Jan Rosa, or Dark Fantasy Studios. So, with that being said, why don't we spread the love and raid Advanced Dungeons? They are also playing Dungeons and Dragons. So we'll give them a raid. And with that being said, from the first chapter to the last page, spread love, be kind to one another, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.